Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this whole emulator situation. I'm going to have to do some serious configuration stuff the next time I do this. And again, if I have to, I will buy the damn game on the Switch because I know that will work. Um, but yeah, there we are. It's times like this, I wish that because I don't think that this is available on. Um, I guess I could have bought it on my PS4 and that would have made it infinitely easier, but I don't think it's available as a PlayStation Classic, is it? Like, I guess I could have, in a different way, purchased it for my PlayStation TV and played it off of that. Now that I've got the Genki Shadowcast, but I don't know. It's funny that Ersten is here as we're talking about all this Mega Man X stuff, though, because um, I've always drawn those comparisons between Mega Man X and Blade Runner and Bubblegum Crisis, and I think there was a lot to explore there. But as the X games continued on, they definitely seemed less and less interested in the story of like, oh hey, robots are gaining sentience, and that's a problem, a solvable problem, but a problem nonetheless. To let's have this melodrama about robots that love each other and can't admit it. Um, and all my circuits is fun, but I think I was looking for a little something a little bit more Asimovian, and of course, after X5, things got a little weird. Oh, well, now I'm going to do some research. Let's see. But yeah, I'd rather just maybe talk and figure this out, and we will come back fresh next week. And that way I won't have to be as frustrated. Maybe we can have some fun along the way. Hmm. 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 Oh, there it is. I guess the only real way I'm going to access any Vita store is through my trusty PlayStation Vita. I am back. Let's see, I'm still salty. Yeah, sorry, I restarted the stream with a just chatting because I don't think I'm going to be getting any kind of gameplay in today, which is a real bummer. That's okay. We will figure it out, and it will happen next week, very likely. But for the time being, I'm just chatting. So that's what we're doing. It's just chatting. I know that everybody in the world is watching Critical Role right now, so thank you for being here. If you're not, um, hot is your face. Here we are. Here's my oh my goddess wall scroll. Uh, let me see if I can accurately point my enormous red dragon back here with my Rocco's Modern Life hat and my rather in boy I can't do this right. Yeah, my enormous collection of D&D books of all kinds, and even boy, I'm mirroring is tough, and all of my box sets for all kinds of different things. Which actually, I have a Starfinder Alien Archive box up there that I could use for something soon. That's gonna be fun. And so to answer your question from before, nope, I got nothing as specified. I wanted the 3DS version, which is, coming soon someday. I figured that they would have substituted for something else, but I guess there's nothing really to substitute. Um, I did sneak a download code. Don't ask me how. I won't reveal my methods. I did sneak a download code that gave me Mighty Number Nine on my Vita. Um, and I don't know why, but that was just a thing that they gave away at some point. And that seems kind of awful because I don't think they did that for the people who kickstarted it, which is really not cool. I could be wrong. Don't take my word as some kind of gospel truth, but it wasn't pleasant, all of this business. If I was to buy Mega Man X4 as a PlayStation Classic and downloaded it on my PS TV, it would be $6, which I might do. But then I could pay like I don't know a little bit more and get it on the Switch. I don't know. I will figure that out between now and next week. We'll get there. Um, Let me think. What the heck was I playing the other day? No, I played. I don't know if anybody caught this. I was playing Super Mario Brothers Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. And I actually beat it within 2 hours. I use save states, but you know what? I'm not going to quibble about that if nobody else will. Um, but yeah, we will figure that out. We will get that going next week. For right now, we're just going to go ahead and talk it up. We will have a good time. For right now, we will be very happy that the PlayStation Vita still has a store that you can go to and buy things from. Um, it's kind of a zero sum game because they're going to take it down at some point, anyways. But at least for now, we know that they're not, and we're going to have to kind of deal with it. I'm a little bit sad. If I had thought about this beforehand, I would have just started playing Lunar. What the hell is that dumb game called? I missed your Mario 3 stream to Immense Salt. I mean, you could rewatch it, but I guess it's not the same thing. Can you show the Vita again? Yeah, here it is. Here is the Vita. I think I gotta whoop do the little Vita thing. And as a matter of fact, I am curious as to whether or not I have it downloaded here. So I've got Dracula X Chronicles, a bunch of other games, Aid Union, Final Fantasy IV, of course. Here we go. Silver Star Harmony, I might play at some point because it's the fourth version of that game. They had Lunar, the Silver Star something, the Sega CD one. They had Lunar Silver Star Story on PlayStation. They had Lunar um, on the Game Boy Advance, which I actually liked. I know not a lot of people like that one. And then now we have Lunar Silver Star Harmony, which is technically a PSP game, but they made available on the PlayStation Vita. And I think I will play that at some point, and I can very easily do that now with my Genki Shadowcast, which is really cool. Um, we have a running joke in my 14 FC that only 5 people in the world own one, 3 of us being 3 of the 5. Well, I mean, I guess I'm number 4, which would make sense. Hey guys, um, because I do games for you. And this evening, your hair looks so cool. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of trimming, but this is my no barbershop haircut. I do this all with clippers. I'm getting closer to being able to download Dead by Daylight so that I can play that as well, but I need free time to be able to do that, and I will get it very soon. I own the physical Silver Star Harmony. Very pretty, extremely easy though. Poor monsters need serious help. What are we drinking tonight? We are drinking New Amsterdam. I don't know if there's Twitch rules about showing alcohol, but I mean, so far I haven't gotten in trouble. And the last of some ginger ale that I was having a little earlier. Now you're good. No, it's funny. Like lewdness apparently is really difficult on stream. Like you could, like if I had sweater meat, like that would get me kicked out. But like I can drink to my heart's content. I don't know if I could be like fall down drunk on stream. I don't know that I would test that, but um, it's funny. I think. And there's a lot of other kind of standards and practices that like Twitch is getting a lot more mainstream in the sense that like they're getting a lot more concerned. I think about their content, and that's good and bad, kind of, I guess. As you can tell from the fact that my voice is going higher as I'm making these assertions. Well, they allow mostly naked broads and cheap Walmart hot tubs, so you'll be fine. That's the trick. I need to get a hot tub. And I think that's probably a good idea. Let's see if, like, all right, Twitch, make me a partner, send me a hot tub, and I'll do it up for you. That's the meta. Yes, that is the meta. Wait, so I think I missed something. John, do you have a Vita? John being Erston, I just call him John. You sure do. That's awesome. What do you have on the Vita? What compelled you to buy a Vita? I know what compelled me to buy a Vita. Um, there were some really quality games on there. Hot tub, foot cam, trap streams. Ooh. Hello, Callies. Feels doxed. Oh, goodness. The fact that I called you by your government name? Well, although today feels like mostly Murasama Rebirth, yeah, that was the first game I bought for it as well. Um, that's a really awesome game. For being a Wii game out of nowhere, it's really good. Also, access to PS1 classics, absolutely. I have Legend of Mana on there, which I would be playing, except I'm waiting for the remake. The 4 collection, yeah, absolutely. I have that as well. Um, did you ever play Third Birthday, Hurston? I have it as a UMD. Um, Vagrant Story, that's a good one. I need to get um, Xenogears. Yeah, I need to get Xenogears. I did not hear good things. Okay. Offered to make him some cute knee eyes. um, I need to get Xenogears and I need to get no, you said it. Vagrant Story. I need to play the not Vagrant Story. What's the one? I mean, yes, Vagrant Story, but what is the PlayStation game where you're in mechs and if you don't get your stats all equal? Um, Vandal Hearts? No, that's not what I'm thinking. No, yeah, you were right. It's Vagrant. No, 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 no. It's all these V games. I'm all jacked up. Vanguard Bandits is what I'm thinking of. I want to play Vanguard Bandits sometime because I never really got to, and I want to do that at some point. Probably Arc the Lad somewhere. Yeah, Vanguard Bandits. Thank you. Um, Third birthday. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Maybe I should go trade that in while it's worth something. It's like I bought that a long time ago, just having that nostalgia of like, well, I liked Parasite Eve. Um, and yeah, I guess wow, complete in box for holy cow. Okay, maybe I should trade this in. I would get a whole D&D book for it almost. Um, how about that? You pay them to take it from you. Well, God. I wish I could play music, but then I don't know if that would get the stream with a takedown or whatever. But um, yeah, I guess I'll talk for another half hour. Today was kind of a wash, but it wasn't a complete wash because I've got 4 people talking in chat right now, which is more than I sometimes do for actually playing video games. OC remix stuff is usually good. Hey, how about that? Why don't we try that? Although I'm still a little salty about the OC remix that they did for the Secret of Mana remake because some of those tracks are kind of garbage. Let's see, can we play this in a way that it's going to play for y'all and not be obnoxious? Uh, no? No? Sure, let's do this. Alright, here we go. So at least now we're talking and there's music, I think. Look here, I needed the Iabria skin for Duodecim. I did not enjoy a single minute of that train wreck. Oh god. So okay, I got alright. The some of the people that I trust most in this world have spoken, so I will now decidedly evict that game from my PSP collection. Not that I'm playing much PSP games these days. I need to figure out if my modded PSP is going to ever play UMDs again, but let's see, where did that thing go? So, ironically, I might have had a better time trying to get some of this. There it is. Nope, that's not it. I might have had a better time getting one of them cables for the PSP, playing from there. And before we get stormed by the copyright police, let's see. No, the most insidious thing about all of this stuff that they do nowadays is that they don't take your stream down. They just mute it. And so if anyone ever goes back to watch it, then it's completely just not watchable. That's the worst that they can do. And especially if you want to then upload it to YouTube at some point, they will screw you over severely in that sense. Now I need to find the stupid case for this because apparently the case is what makes this game so let's see, I guess if we... Yeah, there we go. There's the offender right there. You're out of here. Yeet it! Good thing you did. Don't be like me and toss your broken PS2 with a perfect working Xenosaga Episode 2 in it. Ooh. Ooh. Kikuda's Heavy Snares? Oh yeah. I quickly changed to the original music for a remake. Yeah, the original Secret of Mana music is all good and well. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's see, I am off to bed. Gonna leave the stream on to help your average. Thank you, Callius. I very much appreciate that very greatly because someday I'll make affiliate, but I won't do that until I have 3 average viewers, and I'm sitting at like 1.3. So your help is so much appreciated. See, this is why my stream debut will be on Odyssey exclusive. I can't wait for that, Looney. I'm very much looking forward to that. Now where were we? Where were I? No, I'm lucky enough to still have all 3 of my Xenosaga copies. I think they're even in their original case. There's not like a greatest hits one. I'm sure that if I ever cashed in on those, that I would make some pretty decent bucks. But I promise everybody I will be playing Mega Man X4 by next week without issue. I will have figured it out by then. And at least this has been less frustrating than the debacle. I can't even talk today. Than the debacle that it was starting the Dragon Quest IV stream. That was rough times. Now people are messaging me on... Where is my phone? No. Curiouser and curiouser. What is this music? I don't know. Metroid Prime 2? How about not? Here we go. But still, the mystery remains. Where is my phone? This is like Mega Man by way of a Donkey Kong somehow? Buckle, how French. Quietly await Prime 4 someday. Okay, I can dig this. I don't know if y'all can hear it, by the way, but I am playing some Hell in a Handbasket. Where the heck did my phone go? Well, I guess I don't really need my phone if I can just... I am digging this music, though. And hopefully y'all are digging the conversation. And maybe this is a good time to discuss how I am going to be writing a book, hopefully soon, a role-playing book. And I am kind of, sort of, going to do a parody-protected Dragon Quest style D&D thing. So wish me luck on that. Also, another news. Let's see. Ooh, I remember that first DQ4 stream. That emulator was not willing to cooperate. I didn't have enough RAM for it, is really what it was. If I had been using this computer I have right now, I would have been fine. Big Band Mega Man 3 track, you say, I like a lot. Yeah, I wasn't sold on it to begin with, but I'm liking it now. I'm digging it. There it is, my stupid phone. I'm blaming the inanimate objects for the fact that I cannot keep my life together. Because that's how I do. This still makes me think very much of, like, Donkey Kong Country. In the rare instances that I get to play Dungeons and Dragons, I play too much like a dungeon master. I think too much like a dungeon master, so we're having a conversation about whether or not we should leave the dungeon and rest or just try and finish it. And I think I'm guessing correctly that we should finish it because my dungeon master is giving me crap, giving the group crap about how we're going to be in for it if we leave. Okay, and then there's other stuff. Oh, so as I was about to say, in other news, I'm going to be doing another birthday party, this time not for a kid. But Saturday I'm going to be running Dungeons and Dragons for a birthday party. Unfortunately, I can't stream that, although I would if I could. But that should be fun. You know, you can always post the link to your Twitch when you go live in my Discord. Just post it under the... Ooh! Hey, I will remember to do that, because that's awesome. Honey, you don't need luck. You have massive talent. You're going to write the fuck out of that book. You're going to hit it out of the goddamn park. Well, thank you, Looney. You're always my... definitely my inspiration. Definitely my... most ardent supporter. I did it for you already. Well, thank you. Well, goodness gracious, I was gonna stream until 10, but I mean, if we get more people in here, who knows? I may keep going. But lots of stuff happening. Lots of fun to be had. I don't know if he's allowed to show his massive talent on stream. NSFW is TOS. Talent. Oh boy, y'all. Oh boy. Um, Erston, have you been streaming? Have you been doing much? I think I saw you do uh, some 14 playing recently. Really have not within the last couple months? Hmm. I know it's been a while. Oh geez, family friendly has passed on in this stream. I mean, more than a few times. He gave up his affiliate status. That's kind of a bummer, but I imagine that was on purpose. I removed my affiliate status, got mad at Twitch that people could still resub, and so stopped. That makes sense. I remember you saying something about that at some point. Um, but you still do the tabletop role playing streams, right? I mean, you don't host them or anything, but I've seen you on them. Can you hear me chewing? Is this awful? Yeah, BESM game and Vason. I try and catch the BESM ones. I hear no chewing, and it's not waffle. Am I developing some kind of a Jersey accent all of a sudden? I hear the initial bite. Well, I promise you this is not going to be like a food eating stream. Oh, maybe a few minor chews. Oh, now that's enough for me. I'm just going to move this back over here. No, don't even say that word. Not only do I not like those, look at you doing birthday parties. You taking my gerb. Make a house of food and then eat it all. Not only do I not like that word, I don't like the streams that it encompasses. Oh my god, I just put my headset back on and I swear I heard you say, yeah, I look for the BDSM ones, and I was like, no, that's the problem with the big eyes small mouth, is just trying to abbreviate it is a fool's errand. Okay, that was the last crunchy cookie. Miss Cookies, Chewy, feels bad man, me too. Um, now on to the soft, chewy cookies. Um, why do you miss cookies? Is this like, am I being insensitive and eating cookies when you all cannot? You can have them whenever you want. I can't. I see. Keto. Oh, I like that you can use your I like that you can use your emojis on my channel. Yes, but do the cookies have surprise raisins? Oh no, I'm doing a low carb thing. Um, Never. I banish raisins. Raisins are ousted. I I see an emoji, but I don't know what it is. Erston love made by I don't know. Oh, I see it now. I had to like click on it. But raisins are nature's candy. Um, they're crap candy. What is this song? I vaguely recognize it. Oh, it's a Kirby song. I like it. Oh, that's the wrong one. LOL, I did a $10 dono to a streamer friend and asked him to make me an emote in MS Paint. And that's what he made, lol. I don't know, I've been getting better at MS Paint stuff. Raisins are the devil's fruit. Free! No, it's true, they are the devil's fruit. Raisins can go to hell. I will only accept yogurt-covered raisins if I have to, but raisins and anything else. And, Gaz, you probably know this better than anyone, but capirotada ruined me for raisins. Capirotada is like the worst dessert I've ever had. Period. I thought durian was the devil fruit. Ooh, durian is bad. Durian's so bad. Poor innocent grapes corrupted into satanic form. That's true. But no, so, I mean, Gaz and Erston, you all went to the H-Marts and everything. They had those little flaky wafer cookies, and they had the ones that were durian. Oh, I'll never do that again. You love capirotada? Oh my god, get out of my stream. I couldn't imagine, like, eating that on purpose, much less making it. Ooh. Okay. Feels bad, man. I'm sorry, that traumatized me as a kid. Maybe you had a different kind than I did. I'm willing to go that far. But the kind I had was like, if you took bread pudding and then covered it with raisins and confetti, and then drowned it with like water, and then like mixed it up into like a big disgusting soup, that was the capirotada that I was served. What's this War Groove? Ooh, I need to play that someday. That War Groove. Ew, what? Yeah, I mean, the capirotada that they gave me was so disgusting. And these were the same relatives. What? You don't like onions in your dessert? Onions and raisins joined forces. to form capirotada. For me, coconut is the devil's fruit. I could see... I like coconut, but I could see... Coconut is a dividing line. It's kind of like pineapple on pizza. But no, I feel like capirotada is just like it's a way to skirt the Geneva Convention. It's like if your relatives don't like you, they'll just throw some crap into a blender and call it capirotada. I don't like the shredded texture. Have you ever tried like the big giant chips of coconut? Maybe that's different. Or like coconut water is sometimes good too. But some people are just like anti-coconut. I get it. I like coconut, but I get it. And people love shredding that shit and onto everything. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think your relatives like you ish. I don't think they do. They also gave me this sweet tamales with raisins in them. Again, that ruined my childhood. You know, I'm sure that's fine for some people. The sweet tamale with raisins in it wasn't as offensive as the capirotada. But it certainly didn't. It didn't agree with me. One day you need to hear the "I can't believe this is happening" story. Oh my god, I don't like sweet mole either. Yeah, no, I would much rather have spicy mole. Like it can have some sweetness, but my grandma's traditional capirotada recipe featured onions, raisins, and garlic. Oh, that sounds terrible. Looney, did you have the stupid little like ball sprinkles on yours too? I feel like we're having like a second satanic panic, but instead of like devil worship, it's capirotada. We're just reliving our repressed memories of capirotada. At least two of us are. Ball sprinkles, yes. You outed me. No, there's all kinds of crazy stories that I was thinking of recently, including one of these days I gotta tell my Mexico story. I gotta tell the story about when I turned 18 and went down to Mexico with Victor and Evan and Thomas, and how we all almost died. Well, I guess charitably I should say that Thomas and Evan almost died. And then me and Victor would have just been kind of like figuring out how to get emergency services out to some remote part of Mexico. The one where you guys nearly died, yeah, that's the one. That would be the one, Erston. And I kind of wish that Evan was here for to kind of help me tell this story, but oh boy, oh boy, and Victor, oh my God. See, let's see, and the party was never heard from again. I mean, it was that close. It was that close that we were. It would have been like a fucking Stand By Me kind of situation. Like it would have changed our lives forever. Grandma's recipe didn't feature sprinkles because it apparently was a Chiapas regional variation that did not include those, or so Grand claimed. I mean, I think that capirotada is just an excuse to create weapons grade food. Like I really do think it's just it's some kind of like excuse to hurt your loved ones. Which let's be fair. I think Mexicans find excuses to hurt loved ones. The one I had, the lady was from Mexico. The capirotada was like if a vanilla cake was an orgy with coconut, assorted nuts, sprinkles, and a little rum. That sounds good. Nothing about that sounds bad. I would totally, I would try that. I would try that. But all the ones that I had are like bread pudding, runny, gross, and had raisins in them. And those stupid little sprinkles. Like I don't have any problem with the sprinkles themselves, but like I've been traumatized by those sprinkles because of the capirotada. That now I don't even like want those sprinkles on anything. If I go to a panaderia and get those sprinkles on a cake, I'm like, okay, fine. But it still makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, it was a wet cake for sure. You're right. And see, I like wet cake. I don't have a problem with wet cake. Tres leches is my favorite. I had it so long ago. Like I like wet cake, but like when the capirotada I had was always gross, and it always came at the same time of year as fruit cake, and it was so gross. But yeah, tres leches is amazing. It's my favorite. No sprinkles on your pizza, crazy talk. But Gran would put shredded dried coconut on her capirotada, like mixing sweet and salty, but I draw the line at onions and garlic. That sounds so awful. Just no, Jesus, Maria y Jose. No, por favor. Me neither. But yeah. It's all crazy, and I know there's all kinds of regional variants of everything. So it's always hard for me to be like, this is the thing, because no, it's not. Like even when I talk to people about menudo, I love menudo, but I think I guess you would call it norteño menudo because there's all kinds of different ones. Ugh. I miss the ponche that I used to get around Christmas time from that lady as well. Oh man. So guys, atole. Do you still have atole, or have you not had any in a long time? So I miss atole. I need to go down to that. Like there's places I can buy it and make it, but I just for whatever reason I just always relied on people to make it for me. I used to drink that as a child. Ooh, Exmos Ponche is awesome. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think I've had ponche since I was a kid, honestly. It's like I'm losing a lot of the stuff that I used to have as a youngin. And I feel bad because I should have this stuff in my life. I should be a little bit more inured to my own culture. But I have kind of fallen away from some of that. Atole, fuck yes, atole de arroz, de atole de cajeta are based and mex pilled. Even flan, oh god, I haven't had a good flan in a really long time. But flan is one of those things that's been appropriated, and I hate to say that, but it has. And so, like, you get this white people flan, and it's so bad, and I don't even try it. The only ponche I got was in the nuts from Nick. Oh God, Nick Heidi. I wonder what that son of a gun is up to. Atole de cajeta was so good. Yeah. Um. See, y'all are making me want to go do a run over to the Mexican grocery store, but I'm sure it's closed by now. I need to go to the Mexican grocery store and get a roast chicken and a turkey leg and probably some sopa. Let's see, gonna have to go see the tamales man about several um, of atole. Yes, do it. Travel stream. Oh my god, it would be funny if I just like did like a phone stream or whatever, but no, they're closed now. No, my roommates made tamales today, and they're actually really good. I mean, I'm sure they're gringo tamales, but they're good. Well, I eat menudo. I eat menudo a lot. Um, let's see, I make ponche de Navidad every Xmas and New Year's. Just saying. Yeah. Um, but yeah, there's a really good place nearby that does menudo. Good man. Um, and so I go there fairly frequently. When I actually work in the same parking lot now that panaderia is, and they have menudo every day, so I have a really good temptation. But I have to I keep it to once a week. I should probably do it once every other week, because that menudo is so good and so rich. But like them tripe meats probably ain't so good for me. We got Kevin to try it and he didn't love it but didn't hate it. Tom didn't like the texture of the tripe. I mean, if you don't like the tripe, you can always go with pozole. That's always a good alternative. Because I can't imagine anyone objecting to the pozole, but the trick with the pozole is that you really have to put all of the fixins in just right. You can't just have pozole. You have to put in the lechuga, you have to put in all the spices, and you got to be real careful with that oregano because a little goes a long way. I eat menudo from time to time, but not as often as the cow stomach, and the spices give me gut. Oh, preparing it also makes me sort of queasy. I could see that. I'm not a good Mexican. I don't think I could I'm not saying I would object to it. I don't know that I would know how to prepare menudo because my mom used to she would stay up late and she would set the menudo going the night before. Thomas tried to eat a sopa de chicharrón, and as soon as he got some in his mouth, he spat it out. No, I think so. Guys, I don't know how well you know Chris. I know you know Kevin, but Chris is one of the pickiest motherfuckers. I think Chris and then Jim are the pickiest eaters I've ever met. But Thomas is a close third. Thomas is kind of picky when it comes to his food. You put repollo in your menudo? No, I put repollo in my, Chris, listen. No, I put repollo in my pozole. All of a sudden, this has become a stream about Mexican food. Chris is oh god, Chris is so funny. Um, Eating pozole is all fun and games until you have to make it yourself and you have to pick all the ticks out of the pig's ear canal. Fun times. Look, Looney, why you gotta make it all real for me? Why'd you have to bring down the stream all of a sudden? Chris doesn't like onion or anything, but he loved my tacos and my meatloaf. That's awesome. I remember there were times that he would send us out to get McDonald's, and it wasn't a big deal, whatever. He just oh, hey, you guys are going to McDonald's, get me this. And I would get him burgers, and if it had mustard in it, no way. He would throw the hamburger away. And I remember that time I'm like, I'll eat it. Don't throw it away, dude. But yeah, listen, I never told him that onions and veggies were in any of that. No, and that was Jim. As long as you didn't tell him what's in it, he'll eat it. No, when I grew up with hanging around Jim in high school, his mom wouldn't tell him if there were onions, because if she did, he wouldn't eat it. But eventually he learned to pick the flavor of the onions out, and then he wouldn't eat it even if he didn't know. He was able to discern it. Pozole was originally made with human meat, never forget. Well, I like pozole. Maybe I gotta try the original style sometime. I'm joking, I don't want the prion syndrome that eating human meat would give me. That's why the traditional recipe is the best. It's the most humane dish. I mean, I'm sure it's probably the most sustainable. The more pozole you eat, the more carbon you contained from being released into the atmosphere. Um, no, my mom would regularly make, this is kind of a tangent, but my mom would regularly make cerebro, tacos de cerebro, and she would use like the cow brain to make tacos, and I never thought anything about it. But once Mad Cow started being a thing, I was like, no, I ain't eating this anymore. I want that juicy shack meat, Rich Evans. Head cheese? No, but I liked it. I didn't have any problems with eating the cerebro, but I don't think I would anymore. Like if I was gonna eat something questionable, I would wait until I'm like 99 and be like, well, Mad Cow, fucking try and make my brain rot more than it already has. I'm a whore for barbacoa. Barbacoa is great. Delicious shack pozole, yum. I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure that if someone made pozole out of shack, you could feed a village. Tacos de cerebro y ojo, I liked until my dad told me what it was. I get that. Like, it doesn't bother me like the idea of eating it, but like just the idea of it being like, okay, I don't want to get mad cow. Who knows? I might have those prions working their way through my brain now. Um, but I don't know. I haven't had a cerebro taco since I was like 15, so. Um, Let me think. But lengua is one of my favorite things. I like tacos de lengua and tacos de tripa. Oh man, Shaq is good for dunking, but can't score the 3 pointers. Oh my god. Um, like his pozole form. Oh my god. How did we get to the point in the stream where we're talking about cannibalism and Shaq? You can always eat quesadillas de sesos made from pig brains. That's safer, sort of. Yeah, I'm sure. But like I like stuff in quesadillas. Like I like chicken in quesadillas. Um, I like tacos de tripa when tostadita. Oh my god, yeah. Now I might have to go to Tacos Rapidos, which is like it's not Mexican food. It's just kind of like Americanized Mexican food. Um, Evan Wizard King, I believe, because we started talking about PS Vita's natural progression. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Makes 100% sense. But there, Ersten or Gaz, did you ever go to Tacos Rapidos? So it's a 24-hour restaurant here in Denver that serves like this like weirdly Americanized Mexican food, but it works. It's like it gets it done in a pinch. And they'll do tacos, they'll do burritos, they'll do tortas. Tacos de moleja are god tier, by the way. Oh, what is that? I don't even recognize that word. I didn't, sadly. But they'll do quesadillas de camarón, and I'm sure the shrimp is not good quality, but um, and don't feel bad if you didn't try it because it's kind of like bottom tier food. It's like if Taco Bell was slightly more Mexican. That's kind of what it is. We tried a place called Chewy's that white people loved. That place, it was horrible. Um, yeah, I remember Chewy's, and I remember a couple of other places like that. Not great. There's some really good places up and down Federal that just do like actual Mexican tacos, or at least some approximation of that. Um, but yeah, like I would never call tacos rapidos Mexican food, but it's very Mexican American. This place near us that was a mom and pop, and they did great, yum, great carnitas. Moleja is cow guts, delicious, delicious cow intestines. No, I'd go for that in a heartbeat. Looney, please, put that on your to-do list. Is when you cook for me, you're gonna have to make moleja for me because that sounds amazing. I may have had it at some time and just not realized. You had me at test. Let's see. Let me look at all the. Every time I get into a groove streaming, I get all these messages. Um, let's see. What is Twitter up to now? What is this music and why does it sound so familiar? Is this Marvel vs. Capcom 2? I just got a text or a Twitter message from someone. Yuji Naka, writer and director of Balan Wonderworld, is apparently no longer employed at Square Enix. Surprise, surprise. I'm in it to tests. I'm into tests. Popular guy being popular. Oh my god. Alright, Johnny Test. Do you get that reference? Johnny Test? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller. Alright, let's see what else is. Hey, what is this? Duo, okay. Alright, there we are. Okay, okay. And shame on you, I'm more of a Timmy. I mean, at least I didn't compare you to Kick Butowski. Wait, is this? No. This is a Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color track, but for some reason it has eerie little bits of it sounds similar to Splash Woman theme. Well, I've never made molejas, but I can sure try. Expect no hygienic practice from me, though. They call all the flavor. I'm okay with that. Look, I grew up at least partially going to Juarez and eating off of like taco carts where they had a steel drum where they would cook the food. And so whatever that was, I'm sure that there was like no OSHA laws that that could have applied to that. Like I'm sure that that was like breaking all kinds of rules. So whatever, but yeah, like I'm down for that. Like I need to build up my intestinal fortitude to where I can eat stuff like that again. Let me. All right, so I'm gonna tweet that I'm just chatting. You know, I'm down with this music, whatever it is. Si el taco no tiene no cuantas particulares de cajita, no sabe chido. God damn it, Looney. It's true though, especially tripas. Like I can't imagine that authentic tripas are clean. Like there's no way. There's just no way. Like you talk about eating intestines, and that's just kind of how you have to take the good with the bad. And again, if you're watching this live, and you could be watching Critical Role, bless you, because I know that that's a big deal, although people are going to be watching that until like 2 a.m., I'm sure. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright. Well, alright, I'll put this to you, stream. We're at the time that I originally said I would be done, but like I feel like I could go for quite some time. Should we go another hour and just kind of hang out and chill? And if so, should I have a beer? When are we all playing Left 4 Dead 4 again? I have too much fun playing that old game. You tell me when, and if I have time, I will make it happen. Um, so my schedule is I play. Hopefully it gets back to what it was, but I'll be playing Monday nights D&D, Tuesday nights D&D, Wednesdays are free, Thursdays are free before 6, or I'm sorry, Thursdays are free before 7:30. Um, and then Fridays are kind of like busy basically up and all the way up until 9 p.m. Mountain Standard. But I could play after that. And then Saturdays tend to be free, although this Saturday I'm doing a birthday party. Sundays are pretty booked, and so that's basically my schedule. But yeah, I'm kind of down for this schedule where we've been playing on Wednesdays, because those are free days and those tend to work out. Oh. This will seriously dig into your DDFFOO time. To be completely honest with you, I have not been playing DFFOO. Go grab a beer. All right, I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I grabbed a beer. It's been 10 minutes. Pale ale. Thank goodness. That was a joke. Where was I? Beer. Oh no, I'm sick of these like Rangers and IPAs, because it was a high difficulty too. Like these bitter beers, like beer's already bitter, and when you go out of your way to make it bitter, or it makes me crazy. This was a beer purchased for me by a coworker, so I'm drinking it. But you know, it's not my kettle of tea. But you know, beer is beer, especially gifted beer. But what are you gonna do? Do they not like you? No, they're from Boulder. They like me, but they're from Boulder. They should just say so instead of forcing IPA. I know. I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, see? Yeah, oh. Erston, I'm surprised that you have an opinion on beer, though. Have you started drinking beer? I mean, I know you don't like beer, period, or at least you never used to. But I mean, IPAs must be like double beer. I'm a lager and stout girl. I can't with IPAs. Yeah, I mean, I'm forcing myself here. Upslope Brewing Company from Boulder, Colorado. I know there's something that's not IPA in there, but I sip sometimes, but I'm definitely favoring a dark beer person. You know, I could go for a good I could go for a Guinness about now, actually. But you know, I'll drink the gift beer. Excuse me. It's like when you get a box of chocolates, you don't just throw out the ones you don't like, right? Right? But it seems I'm a whiskey person like Kevin. Whiskey's pretty like. Honestly, if I didn't run out of whiskey, I probably would be drinking whiskey right now. Right now, Guinness is great. Yeah, it is great. Looney, I don't know how you are on beer, but I know that you're more of a. Actually, what do you drink? I know we've had this conversation before, but like I think you're more of a spirits lady. So looking at it here, by the way, this is going back to a longer conversation that we had a while ago. I have Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 complete. Um, Xenosaga 1's going for $30. That's not bad. They made a lot of that. Xenosaga 2 is going for $50 complete. That's pretty decent. Xenosaga 3, complete in box, is going for $285 for Xenosaga 3. And they haven't remade that. Haven't re-released it. Haven't put it on anything. We're already talking about getting Xenoblade 3. No Xenosaga anywhere. You gotta play that on PlayStation 2. Can't do that anywhere else. Although 1 and 2 apparently were re-released on DS. Why they didn't do 3 on DS, I don't know. I'm sure there's some politics there. Though I still don't drink more than like once a year. Guinness is great. The blood of the youth? Wowza. Oh yeah, wowza for that. Yeah, yeah. So if you've got that Xenosaga 3, hold on to it. Saga is still owned by Bandai Namco, isn't it? I don't know. Honestly, like I'm not sure what that whole situation is. Like whoever created that game series owns all of that IP, I think. And I think they're the reason that they're not re-releasing anything. And so now we're on to Xenoblade somehow. But I think that's why Monolith made Xenoblade. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you what the politics of that are. I know that there's some weird backroom deals going on. I know that there's all kinds of craziness happening. I don't know why or what or who or why. I said why twice. But again, if you have Xenosaga 3, hold on to that bitch because it is expensive. Okay, so I'm not like super into beer, but I'll drink some Leon and some Montejo from time to time. Quilmes, definitely, because aguante Argentina loco. But I want to know, Looney, what spirits you're into. And why they did Saga and not Gears, I think everyone wanted to hold on to the IPs. Yeah, like, I think all of that business, it's like they went from Squaresoft to Bandai to Nintendo. Like, I think ultimately that's where it is. And they still connect in a weird way. In fact, I think you can get Cosmos in Xenoblade 2. I don't know if you can get her in anything else. But there's connective tissue between all of them. I don't know that any of the other games ever featured floofy crucifixion like Xenogears did, but you know. You know, I'm digging this. I might have to make this a regular feature of some of my streams and do some of this OC remix because I'm digging it. Was AFK for a second with to tackle the tamales man and got some chocolate atole and oh my god. Oh man, Looney, you're making me hungry. This whole conversation has been making me hungry. So the camote, is it like roasted in like tin foil, or how do they prepare it? This music is really cool though. And Looney, at least where you live, do they also have the corn in a cup like they do here? I haven't had good corn in a cup in a while though. Like, I think I have to go back to El Paso for good corn in a cup. I shouldn't say corn in a cup. It's elotes. My brain didn't work, so I was trying to remember what it was, and I'm like, oh, we'll call it corn in a cup. But that's what it is. So I'll also drink whiskey, limoncello, vermouth, absinthe, rum. Oh my god, absinthe. And I have an unhealthy addiction to pina colada made with Midori. Ooh, that sounds amazing, actually. I have this weird relationship with pina colada because my mom would get them. Like, that's her favorite drink, I think. She'll drink beer, but she loved pina coladas, and then she would let me sip. And so, like, I think I got this weird attachment to pina coladas for that reason. But honestly, I'll get fucked up on some Long Island iced teas pretty damn easy. Yes, the camote is the one in the tinfoil drowned in la lechera sprinkled with cinnamon. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Now, I'm not trying to cast aspersions, but this does sound like 90s house music. Not that I was doing raves in the 90s or anything, but you get enough tape mixes and you kind of get the idea. You go to enough Mortal Kombat movies and you get a feel for what the house scene was in the 90s, or like the movie Hackers with Angelina Jolie and what's the dude's name? Also, yes, they got elotes and esquitas in this place, and the elotes cart lady makes her rounds around our neighborhood at around 6 to 7 p.m. See, you're making me jealous. Like, I want all of that. It took me a second to figure out that this was the Speakio theme. I mean, it's a lot of themes in Chrono Trigger. They kind of were keen to reuse music, which I get. I think that development cycle was really crazy. But I'll always make this will always make me think of Speakio. I should play Chrono Trigger again at some point. I don't know if I would do it on stream necessarily, but that's one I haven't played in a while. And of course, that's kind of the millennial curse, is having hundreds of unplayed games, and yet all you want to do is go back and play the ones that you played before you turned 20. Well, it looks like we at least all have whiskey in common. Oh. Well, if this place wasn't a violent dumpster, I'd abduct you for a couple of weeks. We'd have a base in Mexpil time. I mean, it sounds like I would like it if it wasn't crazy, which it just has been. I feel that it's always the oldies that we go back to. Yeah, absolutely. Um, what was I gonna say? No, I still wonder if any of the resort towns are worth going to. Which I hate the idea of going to a Mexican resort. There's a lot of mixed feelings there. But like, at least if they're safe, it makes me wonder if it would be worth visiting. As I mentioned earlier, I feel like I don't get enough Mexico in my life, whether that's culturally or what have you. On my resignation letter, I might have to write, coworkers gave bad beer as one of the things. I don't know. I really don't understand the palate for IPAs. Like, who sits there and drinks IPA and goes like, man, that was so good? Like, who is that for? And, like, are they sitting there drinking IPAs and chewing on like raw licorice, like unprocessed licorice? I don't know if that's poison or not. I can't remember. Yeah, excessive consumption of licorice may result in adverse effects such as hypokalemia, increased blood pressure, and muscle weakness and death. Ugh. We're on like third, fourth set of political candidates for this election because of ultra murder. Parties having to reach deep into their benches. When you say candidates, do you mean for like local government or what's that? That's on the top of the list. What's on the top of the list, guys? Erston, I don't know if you're still paying attention, but it's like I feel like I want to challenge y'all to play some retro video games, and like you should play Valkyrie Profile. Let's see, resort towns are no less dangerous. They just good at suppressing the news. Ugh. Expensive too. You get ripped off horrendously and are no safer. Well, that's a bummer. Paying attention. Coworker gives shit beer. Yes. Okay, but I'll fight a dragon for hours. I mean, that's the kind of content I'm here for. I watched you do it. We were there for you that whole time. I think that was like proto Twitch. We watched you fight that dragon, get revived like, I don't know how many times, probably 100. Yeah, local elections, diputados, gobernadores, y así. And then you went to the mall. Yes, we did. We absolutely did. Well, was it one of those things and came back and still... Yep, that's exactly what it was. Just like a Twitch stream. I mean, I think you really did play that for like, what, 5-6 hours? Just on that one fight? I think if you hadn't have done that, I wouldn't care about Valkyrie Profile. Like, I think that really put it into the... that cemented it into my memory. I think so. Fighting the odds. No, I think the odds were fighting you. Let's be honest. When poor when your poor Valkyrie finally gave up the ghost, like I don't know if it was like the code that finally gave out or what. That was just so dumb. Because I think it was a 10% revive chance. Yeah, and you just kept doing it. I'm not digging this. Bubble Bobble. No thank you. Not that I don't like Bubble Bobble. But that was a bad remix. Oh. This is Golden Sun, and it's trying to be like way jazzier than it has any business being. Like, I dig it. Okay, I hear it now. Oh, I found it. 30% chance of breaking upon reviving. So it'll revive you, but it has a 30% chance of breaking. I think, yeah, it finally broke after like... It felt like hundreds of times. Or at least 800. Let's call it dozens. Bubble Bobble theme, a thing that, at least in Mexican arcades, you would hear it constantly in the background, always and forever. Yeah, I didn't care for that remix of that Bubble Bobble theme. I like the Bubble Bobble theme, but not in that context. No, I regrettably never got to experience Mexican arcades, but judging from the intensity of our SNK arcade that we would get frequented by the local kids from Mexico, we got the sense of just exactly what that scene was like. Having a machine that would play any variety of King of Fighters, 98 through 2000 whatever, boy, I don't think I've seen anyone play arcade games that passionately. It's been pretty calm, but I think I just heard the dog bark from upstairs. I don't know what they do to that poor dog. But alright, Erston, if I was going to challenge you to play a retro video game, what would you play? I know Looney's already winding up to do some retro video game playing, so I'm not going to challenge her to get on anything, because I think she's got a whole list prepared. Oh yes, El Kino Fighters is a staple of the Mexican arcade experience. I shot my academic future full of holes for King of Fighters 98. No regrets. I mean, honestly, it's like, I honestly think I shot my academic future full of holes for several things. Some of which were Final Fantasy VII and I guess the small Saturn library that I had accrued. It was like Vampire Savior, Worms of all things, Guardian Heroes, and of course Magic Knight Rayearth. I seriously did not give any fucks my senior year of high school and just took a bunch of blow-off classes. And I kind of don't regret that. And apparently there's some kind of a... Oh, John, this might pertain to you. They're talking about doing some kind of a reunion, but it's supposed to be for the year 2000 graduates. Which, 2021? I don't know why now? Why this year? That supermarket stockboy dissed Kyoku Genryu Karate in my presence. No one does this. What's supermarket stockboy? This sounds like a story I haven't heard. Tangle Deep. I don't even know what that is. That's a newer game though. I guess COVID delay. Sorry, you 2000 grads. Yeah, I don't know. It is weird, but they want to do it in September, which is like people work. I don't know. Um, but maybe. I haven't decided. If it makes you feel better, I didn't go to any of mine. Yeah, I was waiting for my 10th one, and when nothing happened, I was like, well, I guess I ain't doing nothing now. Honestly, I think Facebook has kind of taken the place of high school reunions. You just kind of get to see what people are up to, and that's kind of good enough. I didn't even remember it's been 20 years out of high school. Oh. I mean, last year I had to remember that it was 20 years since me, Thomas, and Evan almost died in Mexico. That was more important than graduating high school to me. I was the invite for my 10th, but then I didn't see anything for the LOL. True. Yeah, see, they didn't do Jack for that was life experience. I mean, it was. I didn't see Jack for my 10th, and so I just was invited. I see. I was like, the invite. Woo, you were like a VIP. Um, but no, I didn't see Jack for my 10th year, whenever it was 10 years, and so I just stopped caring after that. I blew off school and practiced King of Fighters 98 for 2 whole months from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day until that goddamn stock boy got Ryuko Ranbud into submission. I'm not trying to go back and hear everyone's sad ass stories, and see that we've gained. I'd rather remember us all the way. And I mean, that's very true. It's like I said, I think Facebook has taken care of the function of high school reunions. You get to see everybody with their kids and their dog, and their career, and their inappropriate vacations to places they probably shouldn't be going. And you're good, and you're like, okay, I get it, whatever, fine. You work at Cyberdyne, Wayland Utani, and you have, your 4 kids, um, and 2 dogs, and cool. I get to see pictures of all of them. Awesome. And no awkward conversations need to be had. And I've never been to a high school reunion, so I wouldn't know. I've only like heard people talk about them and watched them in movies, but I don't think I would enjoy them. I don't think I would have fun. I barely liked my prom experience. Or was it homecoming? No, it was prom. Stupid prom. Um, Me neither. Yep. Oh. See, I think if I could have blown off school in that time of my life, I probably would have too. I was that sick of school by the time I reached my senior year. It was probably for the best that I just had nothing but blow off classes except for like, God, I don't remember. Probably English. Um, didn't do any math related classes. I got away with being like a math tutor. I tutored one person once that entire year. Nobody cared at all. Um, and I just coasted that last year, and I was just fine doing it. Um, and then I did like a semester of community college, and then, uh, hey, John, you remember when you came down for spring break of 2001, and you were like, "Hey, you want to move up to Denver?" And I was like, "Okay." I only had class in the morning by my senior year, so it was nice. Yeah, I remember taking like zero period and an extra period at the end of the day because I wanted to be done. I wanted to be like whatever I have to do to graduate early, let me do it. If Montwood High School had allowed me to graduate a year early, I had the credits. I had everything, but they wouldn't let me actually do it, and so I just had to go that extra year, and that was that. So whatever. Thomas did the same. Yeah, pretty much. I was ready to be out of El Paso. I was ready to be out of living at home. Um, the whole story is that the arcade I'd frequent when I was 16 was in the same mall. Excuse me, strip mall as a supermarket. One of the stock boys was hot shit at the time. He thrashed me at King of Fighters 98 and said Art of Fighting was stupid. I flew into a frenzied butt rage, thrashed him at Street Fighter Alpha 3, then vowed to do so at King of Fighters 98. It sounds like you did. It sounds like that's the moral of that story. Yes, I took zero period and summer courses so I could have a fun senior year. Yeah, it sounds like you had the same trajectory as I did, Gaz, and I don't regret it. I really don't. Like, if I had to work hard at being a senior, I think I would have hated it more than I already did. I always tell, like, I work in education, I work with middle schoolers and high schoolers, and I tell them, whatever you can do to get through high school as quickly as possible, do it. Doesn't matter what you do after high school, generally. It's don't go be a drug dealer or anything. But doesn't matter what you do after high school, as long as you get through high school the fuck quickly as possible. Get out of there. Finish it. Get that degree. 3 years if you can. 3 years in a semester if you need to. Fucking do it. Get out of there. Be done. High school is a cesspit. And just, the only thing that's worth it is getting that stupid degree that tells people that you're a high school graduate so that you can either go to school or get some kind of entry-level job somewhere. And if you can build a career from that, build a career. If you need to go to college, go to college. But high school's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And that's I say that having gone through college, or I'm sorry, having gone through high school, I say that having worked at several high schools, it's bullshit. Like, I have not met a high school that I've liked. I have not met a high school experience that I've liked. It's all bullshit. The only thing high school is good for is socializing people to being kind of sort of adults. Honestly, probably the only thing. It was the same guy that... Oh. You styled on him hard. I remember that story. I mean, I'm glad that you showed him up. But it sounds like he was the mid-boss of your region. It sounds like he was the guy that you would have to beat to go on to, like, regional finals. Well, and that was my rant about how high school fucking sucks. This is gonna be, like, if anybody watches this, by the way, this is gonna be the weirdest. I don't know. Maybe that's how just chatting is. You just, like, watch people be crazy and drunk on stream. And you just kind of, like, have to be okay with that. See, I wasn't exactly digging that track. What is this? Open your mind. I mean, I mostly enjoyed high school. It was my dad who pushed me to take advanced classes and constantly take courses. Honestly, think he was afraid that I might do something stupid. Yeah, I mean, I had that exact same fear when my oldest kiddo was in high school, and that led to a lot of strife. Joke's on him, though, I didn't even... I mean, sometimes that's what that leads to. But yeah, like, it's really hard. I will say this, just having had that experience, it's really hard being a parent of someone who's, like, in high school and you're worried that they're, like, going off some kind of deep end, but at the same time, like, the answer is not having them do more high school. The answer is having them finish high school as soon as possible. Um, which is my opinion, but whatever. Um, and my soon-to-be 21-year-old is better off for not having just gone for the GED. I mean, you could go for a GED, that's whatever, but like, we knew that she was better off than to do that, for whatever that's worth. Um, this is a weird trek. I like it, but I wonder what it... Hacking the Janus system. This is apparently from Link's Awakening, and I don't remember it. I don't recognize this being a... Wait. Okay, I'm waiting. You said that it's hard because... So... Let's see, Supermarket Stockboy wasn't much of a mid-boss, though. He got upset because I was... Oh my god, Rudy. I mean, see what I'm saying about the brick thing? You save those bricks and you do something with them. No, guys, so... long story short, I mean, it always hurts me to put it in these terms, but like, I'm talking about my stepkids, and I don't like calling them my stepkids because that's, I don't know, but my 20-year-old daughter, who was, yeah, you get the idea. It's a hard subject to broach, but it's like anytime I tell people that like I have a kid who's like almost 21, they're like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, do the math. I was 19." Like you all tell because you know me, but like I would have been 19. On it. So yeah, thanks to today's stream, I learned that I need to get rid of Third Birthday with all speed. So that's gonna net me a new D&D book probably. I learned a lot about Mexican food, which just made me hungry for Mexican food. I might go to Tacos Rapidos tonight after this stream, although I don't know what I'll get. I might get a lengua torta. I might get that quesadilla de camarón. Oh man. See, this bad beer just makes me want Tecate. And Tecate is not great. But if you're having a quesadilla de camarón and Tecate, that goes together pretty well. Oh man, I haven't had lengua in so long. Lengua is one of my favorite things. My mom would used to chop it up. She would like cube the lengua and then serve it with peas. I don't know why, but that's the best thing ever. I love that. I like this Chrono Trigger remix. I'm digging it. But lengua is one of my favorite things. And people get all grossed out, and I'm like, whatever, more for me. Which is why it's so funny when I go to pho. Que casa camarón. When I go to pho and I get tripe and what is it? So I'll get tripe and tendon. That's what I say too. But I get tripe and tendon in my pho, and oh, it's so good. It's especially because especially in pho, it's like so tender and so just it melts in your mouth. Tripe and tendon, that's what Urson and I get as well. Yeah, I need to go get pho sometime soon. I haven't had pho since the onset of this stupid pandemic. And it sucks too because you can get pho to go. You can, but it's not the same. At least not the way that they do it here. It's kind of like getting what do you call it? What's the stupid Japanese restaurant where they do the whole fucking? But yeah, it's like getting that to go. But no, tripe and tendon. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. But, oh man, it's so good. I mean, and I don't know that like I've met people I've met Mexicans who don't like tripe, and they're just not for it. So I don't think it's even just being raised on it, but like I was raised on it, and I love it. And I think that like if you just become an adult and someone tries to introduce you into the world of eating tripe, you're just kind of like, I'm really lucky that Urson eats all the nasty bits in the food. I would have been so sad if for me if he didn't. So many Mexican dishes contain offal. That's true. It's fucking true. Sometimes, like, I'll get so homesick for some of the home cooking that sometimes I'll go and like buy those bits and cook them myself. And so you'll get like the lungs, the gizzards, the livers and all that business. And I'll just cook those up and eat them because it's like those were the things that I would get at Thanksgiving because nobody else would eat them, and the neck too. But I mean, that's a whole other thing. I have very fond memories of like before the turkey was done, while we were waiting for the meal, of like just sitting and watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 and eating the entire turkey neck. Crispy tripes and tacos are my jam. Yeah, I like crispy tripe. Ooh, oh, it's so good. See, now I just need to go see if I can find a taco truck that's open. I love all that stuff. I'm also really thankful that my mom and grandma got me eating that stuff as a kid. I'd been missing out for sure. Oh man, is this some Big Bridge remix action here? I wish it wasn't so hair metal right now, but like I do dig this remix. Dragon Quest V and Final Fantasy V were like games I didn't play as a kid. I didn't play it until I was like well grown, but that I love the music for. I love the music for both of those games without having played them, and it was kind of weird. Oh, I see. This was a mashup of Decisive Battle and Big Bridge. Yo, dude, it's been a long time. How are you? Hey, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you since Breath of Fire 4, right? I didn't ever used to do this when I was streaming then, but I figured out a setup to do so. So I'm glad to see you. It's been a while. I don't think I've played Breath of Fire 4. You had no cam. No, that's true. I don't think I've played Breath of Fire 4 for like a good 8 months, something like that. It's been a while. Those were good times though. I was really happy to play Breath of Fire 4. Some weird little details notwithstanding, but that was actually a really good game. Like having never played Breath of Fire 4, that was really cool. What are you up to, Yurei? It's really awesome to see you. I seen you streaming, but we're most D&D. Yeah, come by on Thursdays. I was gonna stream Mega Man X4 today, but that went south. But come by on Thursdays, and I'm doing video games then. So definitely do come check me out. I did Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3 last Tuesday because I canceled my D&D game. I'm not native English speaking. It's kind of hard. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, well, I mean, come watch me play video games because that's an international language. Hopefully, especially Mega Man X4. I don't imagine you'd have to know a lot, but like, yeah, hey, I'm so happy to see you back. It was always a pleasure having you on the streams, especially for Breath of Fire 4. I feel like that was a really interesting time in my streaming career where like I got a very specific group of people watching me play that game because it has a really strong following. Man, it's hard to keep up. Friends also streaming, so I have to show up too. No, I get it. I'm part of a streaming community, and so like sometimes I'm watching two people streaming while I'm playing a video game, and it's crazy. You kind of got to do that. You got to be in that stream life, but I get it. So, don't be a stranger, but you're not going to offend me if you don't show up too terribly often. Like I said, I'm just happy that you were hanging around. Thankfully, the Overclock Remix site doesn't penalize me for skipping ahead like Spotify Free does. Dude, I liked your stream back then. No, I mean, I had a blast playing Breath of Fire 4. I kind of wish I had kept those streams. Had fun watching you. It was good times, and as when I finally managed to beat that game, I realized I was like horrendously underleveled. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And on my first try on that final boss too, it was kind of crazy. Huge fan of Mega Man X4, my first PS1 game. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, come back next Tuesday if you can. Sorry, Thursday. Come back next Thursday if you can. I will have it all set up. We will have it all going and ready to go. You leaving? I'm actually probably going to be logging off. Well, I don't know. How does everybody feel? I'm still kicking myself I missed the Mario 3 stream. Getting my guts eaten by that seafood cocktail I had 3 weeks ago sucks. Oh. I'm so sorry, Looney. This is a weird... this is weird, lazy, Vocaloid stuff, so maybe I'm gonna... what is this? Firewalker? No, thank you. Yeah, why not? Alright. Whatever you want to stream, I'm here. That's awesome. I can do this all day, yo. Well, I was going to stop in about 5 minutes, but I'm going to stop when my beer runs out. Let's say that. I'm here until you're done streaming. That's awesome. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're just talking. We're talking high school and Mexican food and all kinds of other stuff. Beer and liquor. Talking a lot about liquor. And the summers of our youths, let's say. I'll go get another beer myself so it's fair. Yeah, it wasn't a fun time. Oh boy. No, again, that's what I say. I go for it. Oh no, hey! Oh boy. Oh. Well, no, it's really funny, but like I feel like I have had at least more success so far. Um, what are we doing here? I don't know. Maybe I should start my streams later because it seems like I get people who show up right as I stop streaming. So that's another thing to consider. Hell, I'll stream 10 p.m. to midnight on Thursdays. I don't give a fuck. To paraphrase Grandma's Boy, which if nobody's ever watched, it's a dumb movie, but I love that. I love that dumb movie. Anybody here watch Grandma's Boy? Yeah, timing is everything. Yeah, it absolutely is. I seem to have a weird international market. Most of my followers are in the UK, so I have to start earlier. Um, that makes sense. Remember that time the stream devolved into cannibalism? I remember delicious shack meat. I'm back. Cheers. Ure, so you say you're let's see. Um, Not a native English speaker. So what language do you speak? I think I've asked this to you before. And I just forgot. So it's funny that we keep going back to the topic. Also English, not Spanish. Taught English myself through games in the most part. From Brazil. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Um, oh gosh, yeah. It sounds like it. Um, so I used to be a translator. Like that used to be my job. I was a liaison for a middle and high school. And one of the people at the front office comes over to me and they're like, "We need you to translate." I'm like, "Okay, that's standard practice." You know, a parent would come in and I would have to translate. And so I get there and I start speaking Spanish and they're like, no speak Spanish. And I'm like, "Well, what do you speak?" And they're like, "Portuguese." And I'm like, I can't translate Portuguese. And the front office people were like, "Well, can you try?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I guess." And thank goodness that this lady who spoke Portuguese also spoke Spanish, and that was the bridge language. But it was so embarrassing that they were like, they heard a foreign language and they immediately thought Spanish, and I'm like, come on, guys, come on. But that was also the school district that I worked for, where the police department in that county did not have anyone on their payroll who spoke Spanish, so they would come to me to translate for Spanish whenever they would need something. Um, it was something else. Now, this song is weird. Metroid Prime 2. I don't have very fond memories of Metroid Prime. I might have to go back and rewatch it. Are we on a loop now? I think we are. Yep. That's fine though. Oh my god, that is kind of cringe that they would just assume that it's all Spanish. Yeah. That school district in particular was something else. I always like to tell the story as like the ELA department, so English Language Acquisition. they were basically like the downtown or the central office department that was in charge of like, okay, we've got kids who don't speak English. This is how we're going to teach them. This is how we handle the curriculum and all that business. Spanish have some similarities to Portuguese, but it's also some English to Portuguese as well, if you think about it. No, and I can. So here's the thing: I can understand Portuguese, kind of. I could not speak it to save my life. Sometimes American folks think all our romantic languages are exactly the same. Yeah, but yeah, I could not speak Portuguese to save my life. I can kind of piece together bits and pieces. Um, but anyways, um, so the people in charge of the department of like we will teach the non-English speakers how to speak English were two white ladies who the tradition was to like order some I want to say it was God Guatemalan food. I think it was. There was like a Guatemalan restaurant nearby. Um, and so that was the tradition, is that we would get together with all of the different liaisons, because all of the liaisons spoke Spanish. That was just how they had it set up. So we'd get together and we were all under the same umbrella of the ILA department. And the ladies in charge of the ILA department could not order the food because the people in the Guatemalan restaurant only spoke Spanish. And it's like, I don't know why these ladies who don't speak Spanish are in charge of teaching the kids who mostly speak Spanish. So I don't know. And I mean, there is some equity there, equity issues there too, because we had kids who didn't speak Spanish. We had kids from all over the world, but like most of them were Spanish speaking, and that was kind of our focus. I mean, and that was a trial by fire for me, because in that job I learned how to translate in real time. That's fucking hard. Um, but in addition, I learned a lot of like my Spanish literacy, which was not terribly well taught to me growing up, because I was going through the exact same kind of program where the focus was, we're not going to teach you Spanish. We're going to try and get you out of knowing Spanish and into English as quickly as possible. You won't be literate in Spanish. We won't teach you how to be a better Spanish speaker. We're just going to try and transition you into speaking English with all speed. And that's how most schools do it, and it's a real shame. And I have worked at schools that don't do it that way, and it makes a big difference. Well, bro, I saw a lecture from a Brazilian guy who spoke like 7 different languages, including Chinese and German. He said a thing that I think is true. Um, Lay it on me, brother. When you try to teach a new language to someone, you have to teach them how to sound correctly. Yeah, absolutely, and not enough people do that. And it's such a shame, because you just assume that they're gonna mimic you, and they can't. Like, it's not using common sounding words. I remember I had moments with my coworkers, my completely English speaking coworkers, where they couldn't say words like chrysanthemum. They would say chrysanthemum, and it's a language thing. It's a speech thing. And I would tell them, like, to have them sound it out like Chris anthem, chrysanthemum. And I think I taught a coworker how to say that word correctly, because they had a speech issue that they couldn't say it. Oh lordy, simultaneous translation is hard as balls. I'm so glad my time as a translator was spent by me being a total shut-in with almost zero people contact. Um, I mean, I was siloed when I did a lot of my real-time translation. I would like sit in a booth and do like go through a machine that would transmit to a bunch of headphones. And that was great. I liked that. But then we established this stupid program to try and curb attendance rates, and we would sit in a circle and I would try and translate, and it was real awful. Like, if you ever try and do like real-time translation in a circle, like in person, fuck that. But um, that was part of the reason I quit that job. But I could talk at length about that. The the individual who had it in for me at that job isn't there anymore, and I don't know what that story was, but they can all have each other, as I like to say. And it was a shame because there were many things about that job that I very much liked. Um, but there were a lot of people. There were a handful of people that were very ardently against me, and I don't know if it was jealousy because I spoke better Spanish than most of the people there. Although there were two very nice Colombian ladies who definitely spoke better Spanish than I do, and I wouldn't cast aspersions against them. I think them and my old Colombian boss are why I have a quote-unquote Colombian accent, according to some people. But it's kind of crazy thinking that so much of that rubbed off on me. The people have told me that I have a Colombian accent. But I digress. Like that job was great, but it sucked because of a handful of people. And I've heard so many people say things like that, where jobs are great if it weren't for like one or two people who were being complete asshats. Hard to simultaneously translate speech unless the person speaking speaks a bit slowly. Yeah, you can't process what you hear. Translate the way phrases are constructed in English are way different. In PTBR, for example, yeah, Portuguese Brazilian. So I got into, let's say, trouble. I was reprimanded because I didn't literally translate, and this is what makes me angry when I hear people talk about how like they want anime literally translated, and I'm like, nah, you don't. You don't want anything literally translated because that's dumb. Um, and yeah, fine, you can get things literally translated, but then you get macho businessman donkey wrestler, which is funny in its own context, but it's not good translating. You can't translate one for one. But like this college educated counselor who learned Spanish and did like study abroad, and like I don't know, I think he was in um, Spain or Portugal or something. And so he was there for 2 years, and he thought he was such hot shit. And he was the one who was like, "You're not translating one for one. You're not literally translating." And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. He said, it's my favorite story because he's like, I'm concerned that you've gone rogue. He said that. He's like, "You've gone rogue." Like I think I scared these people, like on a fundamental level. These people were afraid of me for being too ethnic, I think really is what it ended up being. One of the few times I did simultaneous translation was for some Aussie tourists. Now I was extremely shy and awkward at the time. Tiny person, the floopiest little leader dress you can imagine, stammering phrases in English. My face was Terminator red all day long. Too far. Igualmente, muchas gracias. But yeah, that those were my adventures in translating at a school district that was like in a white suburban part of town. I would maybe do that again, but like I couldn't do that if there were people who were gonna fucking look down their nose at me because I wasn't. Either I wasn't white enough for them or I was too threatening for them. You've gone so rogue you do 66 sneak attack damage. I wish I did 66 sneak attack damage. Languages are fun. I still think it's crazy that I can chat to people around the world. No, Final Fantasy 11, weird tangent, but Final Fantasy 11 was like my first experience talking to people in different languages, and like they had that weird little like you could translate things. I hope the music's not too loud because it's kind of loud on my end. Let me. There we go. All right. Um. Okay. But yeah, that was my first experience of like um talking to people around the world and realizing that like the only real it's too ethnic. Oh my god. Some people, yeah. Uh, but realizing that like the only real barrier between communication is like trying, and like sometimes with I will say we're living in a modern age and we're very lucky to do so, but with the tools that we have at our disposal, um, we can talk to each other, and it's amazing and it's great, and I love being able to communicate across language barriers, and it's still limited and it's not ideal, but it's still really cool to be able to do that. You want to see the whites become super awkward around Mexicans in a translation setting. Break out the Nahuatl Maya origin words. Poor the deer's sweat bullets. No, I know, because most of these white folk, and I'm sorry, but most of these white folk learn Spain Spanish. Evan lives! I know. I wish he would come on. Here, Erston, why don't you see if he's willing to come onto the stream? That might be a hoot, and maybe I'll tell my Mexico story if he does. Um, but no, and I'm sorry, like I'm going off on a tangent, and I'm getting I'm getting really ethnic over here. But white people learn Spanish from Spain, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But you know that they're more comfortable speaking Spain Spanish than they are with Mexican Spanish. I agree. Believe it or not, I became friends with a guy, and he also had a friend that was mute. I didn't know sign language at all, but after a few hours, I was totally able to understand him. It was fun. That's cool. I like that. I've always thought that I need to learn. I shouldn't say I've always thought. I think I should learn. No, I should learn sign language, or at least try. Like I've known enough people who speak ASL that I think it makes sense to do that, and it feels like the right thing to do. But also, like, there's some really cool people to talk to and converse with, that know ASL. Um, oh, Evan might show up and we might go over the. So that might be how I finish off this stream, is just going over that story about when I went to Mexico. Um, but yeah, sorry, wrapping it all up, tying a bow around it is that yeah, communication is super important. Um, it's really cool to be able to like bridge that gap, and I think we're at a time in our lives where language is not the impediment that it used to be, and I think that's really cool. But no, I need to, in that same vein, I need to learn more Nahuatl origin words and so on. And I know a lot of them. Obviously, I grew up on the border, and saying things like tecolote instead of buo and so on. I had several white American teachers at the school I work at, and the poor, wow, really? And the poor folks could never ever say stuff like, oh my God. See, and this is where I'm fucked up because I don't know how to say this. Naza, Nazawa Koyodl and Tewiwakan? Tewi, Tewiwakan? Did I say that right? It's like I applauded myself for learning how to say, like, there was one of the kids, one of their last names is Chinchihualpa, but see, I didn't grow up with enough of that. Teotihuacan. That's right. Okay, I think I read that wrong initially. It's like I really have to train myself to say some of those things because it's like as much as I learned a lot of that Mexican Spanish, like there's still things that I'm not um, I have not been inured to. There was a kid at my one of my jobs named Huitzlochotli, and so I had to learn to say that. I shouldn't say I had to. I mean I did. Um, they're hard words to say. Not gonna lie, I have no trouble saying them because repetition will write. So you're gonna have to teach me a lot of this, Looney. It's up to you. No pressure. And here I thought my friend Evan was going to show up, and I was going to have a big story to tell, but uh, let's see. But still, that's why so many of us shorten Neza. That makes sense. Neza wild coyote. Well, and the funny thing is that right now I'm being exposed a little bit more to Lakota and Dene languages, and I feel like, let's see, same thing as inconstitutionalism. No, I'm reading that wrong. Inconstitucionalissimamente. This is Portuguese for against yeah, and just say the same as disestablishmentarianism. You get like all of the wacky like 10-syllable words strung together, and then that's all of a sudden you're like challenging people to language acquisition and not welcoming them. Let's see. Oh, I'm down to coach you in Nahuatl pronunciation. We're gonna have fun. I can tell you. I don't know if I should be excited or worried. Maybe both. Um, but absolutely, I'm up for the challenge either way. You wrong. Okay, I can accept that. And see, this is part of the reason that I don't think I would ever be able to speak Portuguese because that pronunciation eludes me. Um, one of these days I'll go back to trying to learn French, but I know that there's bits and pieces. Haha, yes, that is something I would definitely do. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, you sounded right. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna get to NSFW, but like if Looney broke out the ruler, I wouldn't object. Let's just put it that way. Sounded quite Spanish-ish. Yeah, I mean, I obviously that's my frame of reference. Can't wait until we get the Parangaricutirimiguaro chapter. Barangari Kuritimaro? Kuritiri Miquaro. Chavo del Ocho reference. Oh man, it's been a minute since I've watched Chavo del Ocho. It has been a minute. Chavez? I could see that. Do they translate it into Portuguese or is it subtitled? I guess I should say, is it dubbed or subbed? No, it's literally spoken, dubbed. Okay, we love it. No, that's awesome. I wonder, and this is just my ignorance. I wonder how much of the humor translates. But like, I remember watching it and loving it. Like, I don't think I had as much of a frame of reference of like the kind of it really is this weird like slice of life Mexican comedy. Um, but like I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think I only really watched it. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I mostly watched it when I was at my grandma's place, but um, I did just love watching it, and it was just there was something just wholesome about it. As dumb as kind of the premise of it was, you just had to buy into the idea of like, okay, here's this like old man pretending to be a little kid, and just somehow you were cool with it. I was for sure. Everyone loves El Chavo, no exceptions. There's no way. Well, there's no way not to love it. No, absolutely. Well, I know for sure our dubbing took a lot of liberties to it. They made a lot of references to Brazilian soccer teams, and so that makes sense. That absolutely does. Not only soccer, but just to give you a grasp. Yeah. Um, that totally sounds about right. It trips me out that there's, oh my lord, that wall scroll. I haven't that for more than a decade. Yeah, there we go. That's yours. You gave that to me, right? I believe I remember that. But oh, here we go. The Dark Star 29 is on, and I think I'm gonna have to tell my story about when I went to Mexico, and he's gonna have to fill in the blanks and or fact check me. The man is here. It's 7, as we like to say when Evan shows up. Um, so yeah, hello, Ellie. Yes, I did. Yeah, like half of my wall scroll collection is yours. Like you gave it to me. Fact check, blech. So, all right, clearing the palette of everything that's happened so far, really quick. Um, hello, Darkstar 29. When I was in like high school, I turned 17 my senior year, so I didn't turn 18 my senior year. Because I like just the way my birthday came out, I was basically a year younger than most of the other folks. Best parts are when they did the mood whiplash thing, where everyone was saying wacky stuff, and suddenly El Chavo says something grimdark, real stuff about being homeless in Mexico. Everyone goes quiet, absolute Kino. Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, I mean, and everybody, Darkstar 28, 29, sorry, and Erston are my high school friends. So, like, hello, like, well, say hello to Evan and John. John, Evan, say hello to everybody. And in fact, Looney, you know Erston already, but Darkstar 29 again. These are some of my oldest friends. So, Darkstar, Looney, Darkstar. Um, why is this? What am I? I'm nervous about the emoji with a wrench because it makes me think that there's some kind of what the heck? Uh-oh. Something went wrong here. on a second. All right, I might have wiped out my chat for a second there, but we'll recover. All right. Oh no, here we are. Every time Aerith dies, I save up a Phoenix down. Oh my god. All right. So, anyways, all right. This is a story I've been saving up for almost a year and a half. So, back in the late 90s, when I was 17, well, even earlier than that, but we were playing a lot of role-playing games. A lot. We were playing, all kinds of role-playing games, and we were like, we need more people to play role-playing games with. I know this doesn't sound... Glad I'm here tonight. I'm glad you're here tonight. Stabbing pain through my chest. Oh my god. So anyways, we need more people. It's me, Darkstar, Erston, and Anubis I. Nay died first. It's true. I can't remember if Tella or Nay died first, but whatever. We're spoiling all kinds of things tonight. So anyhow, it's me, Darkstar, Erston, Anubis. We need more people to roleplay. So we put out a call for people. We're like, hey, and this was before people could roleplay online. Like, that wasn't even a thought. So we met this guy, Victor, on online message boards. He moved to El Paso, or well, let's say this. He moved to Juarez from El Paso. No. Sorry, I'm all jacked up. He moved to Juarez from Mexico City. He's the one, Looney, that I told you. He's the one that told me about that radio show. Like a pain descending from the sky, if you know what I mean. But he effectively introduced us to World of Darkness games. So, like, through him, we learned Vampire the Masquerade. Through him, we learned about all kinds of other stuff. So, he was a student at one of the Mexican technical universities, and he was an engineer. He would always talk about how ingenieros were better than everyone else, and he had a huge head about that. Mech Warrior as well. Oh god, Mech Warrior. I'll tell that Mech Warrior story another time. So one day he's basically got an internship at like some engineering company. And he's like, hey, I have to go to this engineering conference. We're going to be in Chihuahua City. Boy, I think my sound's jacked up, but that's just me. There we go. Hopefully that's not too faint for y'all for the music. But anyways, so he's like, hey, I'm going to go to this conference. It's going to be in Chihuahua City. You can come with me. We're going to get a hotel. It's going to be all comped. And then we can go find this hot springs. He's like, the hot springs are awesome. My coworkers have told me all about it. It's going to be great. And so we're like, all right, fine. I'm going to turn 18 on this trip. We're going to go do this thing. It's going to be great. He's going to drive us. He's got a Geo Metro. Or was it a Golf? I can't remember. It was some crappy car. So we go, and first we went to collect our friend Thomas. It was a Volkswagen Golf. See, that's why I had you here. We went to go collect our friend Thomas, who was working at a grocery store at the time, and we harassed him until he got off of his shift. We went over there and we're like, Thomas, boobies, Thomas, and like he was there in front of his supervisor, and he was so embarrassed. I think we literally got him in trouble, but we were young and obnoxious, so that was. So we got him off of his job shift, and we went. This was back in literally the year 2000. That was when I turned 18. I'm kind of age checking myself. Zero shits given. Yeah, absolutely. So we start driving, into Mexico, and these were the glamorous halcyon days where you could just go back and forth through the border. You didn't need any kind of documentation, really. I mean, the way I looked, and the way my friends looked, thankfully, you go into Mexico, nobody asked any questions. You come back, you just say, American, sir, boom. They might stop you randomly, but honestly, we never did. In those days. This was year 2000. Um, oh, that's right. All the computers in the stopped working and dragons came back through portals. Those were the days. Glad we fought them off and restored order. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so we drove down to Mexico. We drove through Chihuahua to get to Chihuahua City. Um, our stupid friend Victor, who like he was great and he was awesome. Like I won't say anything bad about him, but this trip he was our stupid friend Victor. He didn't think to fill up on gas. Um, we knew we were in trouble because he turned off the air conditioning. And it was like 8 o'clock at night, sun had set, and we were coasting into Chihuahua City. We managed somehow to get onto a gas station with like he was on E for probably 30 minutes. Like we were lucky to get there. We were running on fumes. Like we people say, "Oh, I was running on fumes." We were literally like I think he opened that gas cap and the last little bit of gasoline escaped. Yes, that Pemex saved us. And as much as because we had been playing all kinds of World of Darkness games and in Werewolf the Apocalypse, Pentex is the is the ultimate evil corporation. They're like Pentex is the corporation that is going to drown the world in pollution and kill everybody. But we were thanking our lucky stars that Pemex saved our ass because otherwise we were going to have to walk through the Chihuahua Desert um, in the middle of the night through who knows what. But Pemex saved us. We got to the stupid hotel. We were all just dead tired, and so we just fell asleep. Road trips with friends are the best stuff we can get ourselves into, and all the chaos that can and will happen. Oh, absolutely. The golden age when you could take land routes through Mexico without getting kidnapped, murdered, worse. I remember those well. We owe them to going extinct to Felipe Calderon. Gracias, Felipe. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm really sad that you can't go through Mexico the way that you used to. I mean, it's common knowledge that if you lived in El Paso, Texas, if you were 15 years old, you could go down to Juarez and go to any nightclub you wanted to, drink, have fun, um, hopefully not to get into too much trouble or get taken advantage of, but honestly, it was the same nightclub scene that it was anywhere else. It's just you could be younger while doing it, and my older siblings took full advantage of that. I wanted nothing to do with it. I grew up far too nerdy, let's say, to really take advantage of any of that. And honestly, even to this day, I'm not sad that I didn't partake in that. Anyways, those were the days, as they say. Back to the story. We get to Chihuahua City, get to the hotel, pass out, and then wake up the next day. So our friend Victor goes to his whatever thing in the morning, his seminar, whatever. Let's see, first time I've ever heard anyone being thankful for Pemex's existence, and my mind is blown. I'm literally going, whoa, dude, yeah, I know. It's the one time in my life that I'm ever going to say thank you, Pemex, because I'm sure they fucking suck in every other regard, in every other context. So, day two, oh, I didn't get to the best part. So, the entire time our friend Thomas and Ibisai, the entire time he's like, well, look at it this way, guys. It couldn't possibly get any worse. He said that like with the whole gas situation. Is like, at least it can't get worse than this. And I look at him, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. So we get to the hotel, we sleep, morning. Our friend Victor goes to his thing. And we're just kind of hanging around, chilling around Chihuahua City, doing whatever. That first night, we go and this is funny. I think this might be the first time you hear this whole story, Erskine, or maybe you heard it from Thomas. I don't know. So we go around, we get street tacos, and by the way, like again, Victor's a great friend and he's an awesome dude, but like he's an idiot because he took us to I've never been to a taco place in Mexico that made me sick except that time. We go to a taco place. My entire life I've only heard stuff like pinche Pemex vale verga. So we go get street tacos. I think Victor either rented or had a VHS copy of Ninja Scroll, and I'm pretty sure that was the first time I ever watched Ninja Scroll. Maybe I can't remember. Anyways, so we get street tacos. We buy a shit ton of soda. We buy some really nasty tequila, and we're sitting there in the hotel room watching Ninja Scroll, eating tacos, and um, drinking tequila mixed with squirt. It was it was the stupidest thing you could imagine. Like this is all the stupid shit I didn't do in high school. I did it in that moment. And we were watching Ninja Scroll, and like our friend Victor had a drinking game, of course, with Ninja Scroll because of course, why not? And I remember like when when Jubei is like slamming his head against the the evil bad guy's head. It's like sa sa. That's like Victor was like watching it and doing the noises. Like every time he does that, you have to take a sip. And so we got wasted on tequila and squirt. Anime drinking game those days, yeah, absolutely. Except for Thomas, he didn't drink, and so uh, I fast forward. I go back and forth on this story a lot because you have to understand like the before after context of all of this. But he got some kind of parasite from those tacos. We didn't because we drank a shit ton of tequila. Um, so that was that day. Uh, we went camping the next day. I'm probably mixing up details, but this is what I remember. Now that is se va a hacer o no se va a hacer la carnita asada primo moment. um, so, anyways, we go camping. We sit around a campfire. So no, this is the part. We're driving towards this campsite, um, and it's middle of the night, Mexico. We're driving through this like pitch black, no lights, of course, through just Campesino, Mexico, and no street lights, no nothing. It's dirt road, and we're driving. We're going through all these weird winding roads, and there's nothing. And like the only light we see is the headlights, nothing else. Like it's that dark. Like the if it wasn't for the headlights, we wouldn't see anything. It was like Pee Wee's Big Adventure dark. And we're just like, Victor, do you know where we're going? Like, is this the right way? And he's like, no, no, don't worry, don't worry. This is the right way to go. We will continue going. We will get to the campsite. So we're going. We might have been driving for like probably an hour. All of a sudden, something comes up from behind us. So we've got like these headlights coming up from behind, and we're like, who are these guys? Are they going to be pissed off at us because we're in their way? Um, so they come up behind us. We pull off to the side, and they come up beside us. And Victor's talking to them, and he's like trying to figure things out. And then I'm listening too because I'm the only other person on this trip who speaks Spanish. Kept looking at his petrol the entire. Yeah, of course you did because Victor. So, um, very welcome. So Victor's like, oh, they said there's nothing going that way. We have to turn around the back the way we came. And we're like, oh, okay. And so we're going back, and like this place is so like I've never been in a place this dark. Like it's like light never existed in this area. Like I don't know what this place must have looked like in the light of day. So we turn around, we go the back the way we came because we had taken a wrong turn because Victor. And then so I'm kind of like to everybody, if there was nothing that way, where were those guys going? And we all instantly got really creeped out because we're like, were they going to like, were they going somewhere to do some unmentionable things? Was there some kind of sacrifice ritual they were going to, they didn't want us to go to? Thank God, if that was the case. But yeah, we had no idea what that direction was, and like God, I don't want to know. Um, and I remember saying something like, in my brain, I was trying to say, "Thank God I brought my flashlight," but I said, "Thank God I brought my knife. I mean my demon. I mean my flashlight." And then of course, all of a sudden, everyone's looking at me like, "Okay, dude, we're all already creeped out. Please don't say stuff like that." And I'm just like, "I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that." So, anyways, we got to the campsite. We're sitting around. We're playing a drinking game again. And it's the drinking game this time is, all right, you got to tell something about yourself that you've never told anyone else, or you take a drink. And so we're all going around taking drinks, saying stuff, like, really opening up, except for Thomas. Thomas didn't want to open up. And so he drank a lot. This is some Los Cuentos de la Mano Peluda kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We were thoroughly creeped out. Like, that was a creepy, creepy situation. Like, Darkstar, back me up on this. Like, we probably avoided being, sacrificed to Cthulhu or something. Um, but anyhow, so we're all sitting around this campfire. We're taking drinks. Thomas, more than anyone else, Thomas got sloshed. It must have been too late for him because whatever tequila he drank that day was not enough to kill whatever parasites he got. So that was funny, and he'll tell you the same thing. And then we got into tents and we slept, and we're woken up in the middle of the night by a stupid donkey in like a rancho real close by. Did not get quality sleep, but whatever. That was just funny. Um, then we get set up for our camp and everything. Yeah, Thomas told me the story. All right, guys, if my story is conflicting with Thomas's story, tell me, because Thomas seems to be the unlucky bro of the bunch. Absolutely he was. Just wait till I get to the best part of the story. Yeah, the donkey. Oh my god. So the next day, we all are basically hungover. We had no water. None. We had like a liter of Fresca and a liter of Mountain Dew. That's the liquid that we have to consume for the day. That's important, so hold on to that. But so we go looking for yeah, exactly. We go looking for this hot springs that Victor brought us to. This was the exact reason we came out here. I don't think I have ever been told about the donkey. It was just a braying donkey in the middle of the night. We didn't get quality sleep because this donkey was just braying all night long. That's the story about the donkey. There's not much else to say. But we were like probably 40 feet away from a donkey that just would not shut up that entire night. But anyway, so the next morning, we're looking for this hot springs. I can't remember if it's like Basasiachi or somewhere near Basasiachi. But we drive more, and Victor takes us through this like dirt road that's like the stupidest dirt road we've ever been through. I think it was meant to be a hike. But his stupid Volkswagen Golf can't get through this dirt road, so we literally, myself, Thomas, Evan, get out of the car, push this car through the dirt road when we need to, move rocks in the way when it needs to like get up and down hills. The entire time Victor's driving this car trying to get through this dirt road that was not meant to be driven through. It was not. This was not a road that was supposed to be... the wheels were not meant for this road. So literally we spent like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, getting Victor's stupid car through this dirt road. It was a horse trail. And we finally get to this ravine. It's like ravine cliff. And we saw a bunch of people. I think we actually saw some Australian tourists and whatnot, but there were people who were hiking. That's what they were there for. They were there to hike up and down this ravine, and it was this weird like winding trail down this like cliffside. So we go there. We're like, we've been drinking soda all morning, no water again, and we go down the cliff, no problem. We go down the cliff. Took us like 20 minutes. We're down in the middle of this like river that cut through the ravine. we're trying to like go through. We take our shoes and socks off, and we're like walking through the river trying to find the stupid um, hot springs. And like I notice that there's these weird little things in the water that are like clinging to the rocks. And as I'm walking through, I notice that they're clinging to my feet. These like little tiny like nematodes. I don't know what they were. Anyways, this is another fast forward moment. I remember looking up in a biology book that I got the next semester when I started college. I think those were parasites that dig through your feet and get into your colon. Um, like they were not like, and I remember I'm like, hey Victor, I don't think this is good news. Like I don't think we should be going barefoot through here. Uh, And he was like, "No, no, it's fine. It is fine. I've gone through here before. You have no concerns." Um, but by the way, he later admitted to me, yes, that's what those were. Thankfully, like I scraped those off of mine. That dirt path was not to be driven on. Mexican man with a 1988 Subaru. Oiga nomás, compadre. Like, okay, if you're a Mexican with a pickup truck, maybe, but not a Volkswagen Golf. That was not a road for a Volkswagen Golf. Let me qualify that a little bit better. I did not take my shoes off. You were probably better off. I did thoroughly scrape my soles off when I noticed that those things were clinging to my feet. Um, anyways, we spent 2 hours going up and down this stupid river at the bottom of the ravine. Good on you, Darkstar. I would have freaked the fuck out. Gross. Yeah, I freaked the fuck out too. So we're going up and down this stupid river. Yay, roundworms. Ugh, yeah. We spent 2 hours going up and down this river. We didn't drink the water, thank God. But we were going up and down the river. Thankfully, it was cool. We were able to kind of maintain. There were tons of mosquitoes though, so we did get thoroughly bitten. You guys and your worms. Also, the bug repellent that my friend Victor gave me melted through my glasses, my lenses, my lens frames. So like where my skin touched my lenses, it melted my frames. I think it broke my glasses like a few weeks later. Um, anyhow, we give up finding the stupid hot springs that we had come all this way out here for. We were like, fuck this. This is done. We're not doing this anymore. We got to go back up. So somehow or another, but I have to add to this part of the story. Victor was older than all of us. He was like 6 years older. So we were kind of looking to him for leadership. That was our first mistake. And you know what? I forgot. Every time something went wrong, going through the dirt road, going through that weird like midnight path, all of these things, Thomas was always like, well, look at it this way. It can't get any worse. The whole time, this entire trip, well, at least it can't get any worse than this. He must have said that like 12 times leading up to this moment. So we're like at the bottom of this ravine, going up and down the river, about to hike up a cliffside. And we're looking to Victor for leadership. Hoy en cosas que solo pasan en el norte. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, Erston can hear me laughing from his office. Jesus, this is crazy. You guys all scream, shut up, Thomas. Yeah, we did. We did scream, shut up, Thomas, several times. Every time he said that, I said, shut up, Thomas. You're not helping. Like, yes, it can get worse. Those were things I said every time he said that. So, we're at the bottom of this ravine. We had given up on this hot springs, which is supposed to be so awesome. We're hiking up, and we did not find the same trail that we came down. So we're like kind of meandering through this cliffside, and like it's August. That was my birthday. I think it was like either the day of my birthday or the day after. It's August. Sweltering heat. We were severely dehydrated both because we were hungover and because we were drinking nothing but soda. So we're going up this cliffside, and like I think, for what it's worth, Victor was in better shape 2 days before, I believe. Yeah. And so we were in bad shape, and Victor was like, I can go up this thing no problem, and he's just like trucking up like he's a fucking Boy Scout. And I'm just like, come on, wait, we gotta take a break, and we might have taken like 4 breaks making our way up this stupid cliffside. And what took us 20 minutes to go down took us 2 hours to go up. So we're going. We hit this dead end that was just this straight like vertical climb that was probably like, in my head it was like a 20-foot climb, like from where we were standing to the top of this cliff. We had to climb 20 feet. I think realistically it was 10, but we climbed up this stupid thing because it was like either we climb up this thing or we take a detour for another half hour to find another route. And so it's this sheer cliffside with like roots and rocks and things like that. So Victor gets up, no problem. Um, I climb up. I'm having trouble, like 2.5 stories. Yeah, that sounds right. But again, I'm probably exaggerating in my head. It was a crazy climb up a cliff that like we hadn't climbed to get down. We climbed to get back up. So I climb up this cliff. Thomas and Evan are behind me. I get to the very top and I'm like fucking dead. I'm dying. And Victor already took off. He's like already trying to get to the top. By the way, we don't have the soda with us. We can't even drink that. The soda's sitting in the car getting fucking superheated because the windows are all rolled up. So we're not drinking anything. We're like going up this cliff, up this trail, dehydrated, on the verge of heat stroke, climbing up this cliff. So I climb up this cliff. I'm waiting for Thomas and Evan to get up. So I get to the top. Thomas and Evan are like struggling up this cliff, and Thomas finally gets up this cliff, and I'm waiting there for them. And he's like, "You can go." Thomas says, "You can go. Go ahead. Just go. I'm fine." And I'm like, "Okay." I said okay, but I stayed. And so Evan's really struggling trying to get up this cliff. And like we're watching him, we're like, "Come on, you can do it. You can do it." And he's just having a real hard time getting up this cliff. And finally, he's getting up to the very top, and Thomas holds out his arm, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you need any help?" And Thomas is like, "No, go away. I can do this." I don't know why. I think Thomas was finally like angry because the trip had gone so terribly. And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here. Like, I got this." And so he puts one arm around this like tree stump, and he holds his other arm out to grab Evan's hand to help him up this cliff. And I'm standing there even though Thomas is telling me to like get the fuck away. And there was like, this is one of those moments that I'll never forget. The bark on this tree gave way and his arm slipped, and there was like a split second where I thought him and Evan were gonna fall all the way down this, like, let's face it, even if it was 10 feet, fall down this fucking cliff, and who knows, if not instantly dying, then hurt that we would have to like go get emergency services. Like, I don't know that in those days we could have gone to Chihuahua City and gotten like a helicopter rescue easily. I don't know. That's what it would have taken, like if they would have fallen off this cliff and like broken bones. Either that or we would have had to figure out like some kind of like a fucking lean-to situation. Anyway, so the like slow motion is one of the only times in my life I can say that was like this slow motion moment of like the bark giving way, his arm slipping, and I just reached out and grabbed his arm. I reached out and grabbed Thomas's arm to hold on to him so that he could pull Evan up, because they would both have fucking taken a tumble had it not been for that. And so this isn't even where the story ends. So I pull him up, we get up on top of the cliffside. We're fucked up. Yeah, exactly. We're fucked up. We're dehydrated. We're hungover. It's fucking 90-degree heat or more. I don't honestly remember. And we just sit down. We like get to the top of the cliff and just sit down. And we're like, we might have taken a half-hour break of just sitting there. That bark nearly hit my head. Yeah, I know. We sit down and we're just like, fuck this. And so Thomas, we sit down there and we're like dead. We're like trying to recover like whatever strength we have left to get up this stupid cliff, the trail. And we're sitting there in the shade,
And so, first of all, Thomas says, okay, this is it. It cannot possibly get any worse than this. And that was when I saw the vultures circling above. I'm not like that's not I'm not exaggerating that. I'm not like saying that to make this story more interesting. There were vultures circling above us because they thought we were going to die. Well, at least Evan now owes his soul to you. Well, yes. Um, and at that moment, Thomas is like, okay, all right, I'm sorry. I should not say that this could possibly get any worse because it seems like every time I say that, something really bad happens. I think he finally got it. I can confirm that there were scavenger bird following and circling us. Yes. So it was at that moment that Victor had gotten back to the top of the cliff, and he was yelling at us from the top of the cliff. He says, "Ah, I got to the top of the cliff. I am here. I'm going to go into the car and drink all of the soda. You're not going to get any soda. I made it. I made it before all of you. I am the greatest." If it makes you feel any better, you agreed with them. So we all just kind of like hung our heads because I was like, well, fuck. I guess Victor's gonna be a jerk because he had no idea that we all almost had like this tragic moment. But we're just hanging our heads because we're like, okay, this is rock bottom. This is as bad as it can get. How the fuck the old guy seems to be the least? Yeah, Victor was the least responsible. Looking back on it, 21 years ago, almost to this day, like it's 2 months shy of being 21 years ago. This story is almost old enough to drink. But anyways, so he's up there. He's yelling about how he is at the top of the cliff and he's gonna drink all the soda. And then, so there's just a moment of silence where we're just kind of like wallowing in our self pity. And then he goes, "No!" He's yelling this loud enough that we can hear. He's yelling like, "No! The keys to my car! I left them in the backpack! Evan has the backpack! I cannot get into my own car!" And so we all look like me, Thomas and I look over to Evan, and he's got the biggest grin on his face because he's holding onto the backpack that's got the keys to the car. And Thomas just says, "Okay, this has been about the worst that it can possibly get, but it just got a little bit better." And you did find a small bottle of warm water. I think like we each like took a tiny swig of it, and that probably was what let us get to the top. But so I think it was that moment of humor and that little bit of water that got us to the top of that stupid trail. Um, and we got into that car. I remember Evan got. I don't know if he got the Fresca or the Mountain Dew, but he held on to that like a death grip. Karma is a cruel mistress. So Evan was holding on to that in the backseat of the car. He would not let that soda go. Um, and like I think Victor tried to get some, and it was one of those things where like he knew if he had reached for it, he would have drawn back a bloody stump. But we had soda, and we went back to the no, we went back to the campsite because the hotel was one night only. So we went back to the campsite. We got some water. Thank God. We could have died if we didn't, but we got some water. We went back to the campsite. We spent one more night there. Um, we think Skunks stole Evan's shoes because they weren't there the next morning. We're not sure, but we spent one miserable night in those tents because we were just dead to the world. Um, and mind you, this entire time since we had been in the hotel, we didn't shower or anything. There was like a shower at the campsite, but it was not pleasant. What the? Yeah, ask Evan. Evan, you remember the our theory that the skunk stole your shoes? Um, so we got up the next morning. We went. We drove what seemed like 10 hours to get back to Victor's apartment in Juarez. Um, we all took showers there because we were ready to like wash the filth of this trip off of us. Um, and that was it. Like that we survived. Like that was like a fucking like I said a fucking Stand By Me story of just like surviving the Mexican wilderness. Um, but that was one of those moments that where like certainly Evan and Thomas's friendships were forged. I still talk to Victor from time to time, and I'm sure he'd remember the story. But like um, I think that was kind of what motivated Thomas, Evan, and I to like move up to Denver and like be roommates and whatever. Um, but it was wild times. Let's see, had a beer, whatever. But I told my story. Um, Guys, if you remember, if Thomas told that story differently, let me know because I'm always curious to know like what the different perspective is on that. That's an epic story. Yeah, like I haven't told that story in like 10 years because it's a crazy one. My parents did not know that I was in Mexico. They thought I was going to Yeah, we told everyone we were going to Santa Fe. I told my parents I was going to Santa Fe because I know my mom wouldn't have wanted me to go to Mexico. Skunks are fond of stealing people's possessions, so y'all weren't that off with your theory. They do that to my dad all the time. Yeah, we were telling everyone, "Oh yeah, we're going to go up to Santa Fe. We're going to go check stuff out at Santa Fe." It was only 2 years ago they found out. What did they say? I don't think I've told my mom about that story. I need to tell her someday. Man, you guys were lucky. We were lucky. We were stupid. Like we were really stupid. And Evan, I mean, you were there, so tell me if you remember anything differently. But like though that was my recollection of those events. Fate deemed it was not our time to end our suffering. Eh? I guess that makes sense. Who the hell is gonna stop a skunk from stealing anything? I'd be like, I don't want a stinky trouble skunk. Just take what you want and be on your funky ass way. Bro, I like going out and stuff, but as I was most of the time the older guy, I used to look out for the group. But yeah, I think if I was ever to do anything like that again, I would like, do my homework, figure out how to like, be out in the wilderness. It is funny thinking about how kid, how we're kids and thinking how silly adults are, and now we're adults realizing how we did dumb shit. Yeah, um, pack water. Yeah, absolutely pack water. Um, I had a big head because my senior year we went on some big hike as a senior class, and I was like the fourth out of like a whole group of people to get to the top of Trans Mountain and NVG. Um, and I had beat people up to the top of the mountain who were like career athletes who were on track team and things like that. So I got a big head because I got up that mountain ahead of a bunch of other really athletic people in my senior year of high school, drinking nothing but Sprite. Night vision goggles, yeah. I would probably take night vision goggles if I was ever going to do anything like that again. Probably not in Mexico, sadly. I would love to, but it's certainly too dangerous, as Looney would attest. But um, yeah, compass, map, water, flashlight. Yeah, we were not prepared for any of that at all. Like we could have taken a map. We didn't. Um, 3 days of MRE. Yeah, yeah. Dad and his dog spent a lot of time chasing skunks and foxes that steal his things all up and down the barrel hill he lives on. The skunks are probably allied with whatever supernatural creatures live out there, Looney. Yeah, well, nowadays you have GPS on your phones. Yeah, although I imagine in the places that we were, we would not have gotten signal. Even to this day, I'm sure if I was out there right now, I would not get signal where we were. Skunks are vicious creatures. I've seen it destroy cats. Yee. saying we should get together and do a group camp hike somewhere in the random wilderness for old time's sake. I would, I would be all about that. If we have a proper GPS, it should be fine. Yeah, like an actual GPS um, that works like anywhere that you are. I think that would be a good idea. I'm going to wait for me. Hey, you're invited. Again, probably not in Mexico, but there's plenty of places out here for a good proper hike and camp. So Looney, I think I have alluded to this story a number of times, but hopefully it did not disappoint. This is like my big when I turned 18 story of like when my friends almost died. Won't even need to bring insect repellent. Mosquitoes love me. Y'all will be fine. Oh, yeah, you ain't getting GPS signal in rural Mexico anytime soon. It don't work behind my house even. Mock squeetos. I see that typo. Mock squeetos. Oh, that was a banger of a story, all right. It wasn't as it wasn't like as supernatural as some of the stories that you've told, except for that weird like trip down the dark, um, creepy road. But I don't know. Maybe I'll save some of my supernatural stories for a different time. It happens so much stuff. Yes. Oh man. And really, I haven't even thought of that. Like I think when I realized that we came up on the 20th anniversary of that whole situation last year, I said that to everyone. Now we're old. Sag, yeah. I can't remember, but I remember there was a meme from 4chan of like when things would get deleted off of the posts. It was like deleted due to age. It was Murphy's at its finest, yeah. And honestly, looking back at it, it was I would say that we were lucky. Like I think in those moments we thought we were very unlucky, but we were lucky to have fucking lived. Um, like I was already trying to figure out what I was gonna say to Thomas and Evan's parents about like A, we lied about where we went. B, their sons had like suffered some grievous injury or death um, on my watch, and I was all ready to take responsibility. Y'all gonna have to take me on one of your camping trips. I will fulfill my role of being the one that constantly goes, "Ay Dios mío, no vamos a morir todos," to perfection. Well, consider it consider it an invitation then. But yeah, there you go. There's my Mexico story. My only other Mexico stories were when I went to my brother's wedding um, in the town of Guerrero in the state or province of Chihuahua. Okay, this is sounding like an RPG adventure. Who's DM? Well, I mean, I'm the perpetual DM, so don't worry. I'll be much prepared next time. No, I'm sure that we're going to be all kinds of prepared. Um, but if I ever come across a group of kids who are thinking of going out into the wilderness and being stupid, I'm gonna A, slap them upside the head, and B, tell them like what the fuck they need to do to not die. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get some new tunes going, but I'm probably gonna end the stream soon anyways. No, it's the same ones. LOL, agreed. Step one, don't bring Victor. Exactly. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to hit him up on Facebook and say, "Hey, remember when you almost killed us all?" He's a good guy. Victor is the one who taught me the "That's You" game. If you don't know what "That's You" is, it's when you find an unfortunate individual on the street amongst your group of friends and say, "That's you." Um, there will be no victors in this iteration of The Hangover Part 2, exactly. Um, but anyways, I always like to think of Victor as the person who regretted teaching me "That's You" because I was so much better at "That's You" than he was. And I got him real good a couple of times. And it was always my favorite pastime to um, lay it on really thick and just tell him like, something that's really terrible and just like go through all of the adjectives I can think of describing why it's terrible and just letting them hear me out. And then at the very end, just giving them every opportunity because "That's You." It's all about speed. If you can get someone before they get you, you've won. But I would always get them with these long, elaborate "That's You" victories. No, no, we need Victor on the trip. I gotta know if it was the same radio show I used to listen to. I require Victor. No, I know it is. I know it's exactly the same show because I heard that segment that he played to us. It is that exact same show. Like I can tell you that right now. Although it makes me wonder if there's like competing nerd radio shows in Mexico City in the late '90s. That would be a trip. Oh, all right. It's past midnight. I gotta be to work in the morning, probably, I guess. Um, and this has been a lot of fun. I've streamed for 3 hours, which is not long for my streams. It's not crazy. Dude, I would really love to go to another country just to see what it's like. I would recommend it, especially if you could come. I know the pandemic makes things very difficult, but like I hope that you would be able to. And if you ever wanted to come visit here, I would certainly be willing to show you the sites, depending on if you wanted to come to Colorado. I mean, it's a big country. Just wondering how did get dragged into this. We were talking about this story earlier, Evan, and when you said something on the Discord, I was like, "Oh, get Evan in here," and Erston made it his job to get you here. Well, now we need to bring Victor even more because I've never met another Comic Quest fan in person. So yeah, I would say so. He lives in Canada now. He went from living in Mexico. Well, he lived in Juarez. He moved back to Mexico City, and then for some reason or another, he went to Canada because I think that's where his company took him, and I'm pretty sure he still lives there. So we would have to get him across at least one border, which I know is also tricky now. But like I think he would be up for it if we were to like recreate our trip, but be much more prepared. Colorado, the one and only. Can I visit South Park? Yeah, absolutely. You can visit South Park. Our state history museum has a whole like a little dealia on South Park and Casa Bonita. Although they just closed Casa Bonita, so I'm very sad to tell you that I cannot take you to a restaurant that has cliff divers. And no, as I recall, Comic Quest was the only nerd stuff in mainstream radio show back in the '90s. Now I'm afraid. Afraid of South Park? That's fair. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that I was able to entertain everyone with my stories of how stupid we were as teenagers. Been a while, Colorado, Erston, and them nuclear wings. I don't remember if the Paramount is still there, but I know there's places with much hotter wings than that, if I'm not mistaken. Awesome stream, Ish. So thank you. I'm glad I was able to entertain without Mega Man X4. Although we will be back next week to do exactly that. We'll play some Mega Man X4, hook or crook, and we'll figure that out one way or another. The wings, oh, the wings. Um, no, I remember going to the Paramount more than a few times. Jokes aside, thanks for the kindness. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I was so happy to see you again. You were really cool when you were hanging out for the Breath of Fire stream. I hope to see you more often, whenever you can. No, no pressure. And that angry looking dude that kept going back and forth and staring daggers at us. I remember that. I remember that because that was so weird. But he was so angry. That hobo. Oh boy. 16th Street Mall back in the early 2000s. That was something else. Best damn Mega Man X playthrough ever. Very based. Wait. I'm waiting. So Darkstar is Evan. Elvin is Elvin or Ish. Erston is John. And then Victor is Victor. I don't think he ever had a. No, Victor. Victor's. Like if he was still on. I think he still is Findar. And I can't remember. He had a reason for why he was Findar. Um, Erston is me. I was not on the camping trip. That's right. John was not. And Thomas is not here in the stream. But he would be Anubis Zai. Yeah, I think you were in Denver at the time. Like that was um I think you had moved up already with Braden by that point. But yeah, we had all taken our names from actually back in the day I was Lantis MKR, which was really funny. Round 1 of Braden time. Yes. Um do you ever even still talk to Braden? Is he still up here in Colorado? I haven't changed my handle since the late 90s. That's very true. I've gone from Lantis MKR to Elven Wizard to Lorathorn to Elven Wizard King. Man, I'm old. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have your same handle basically that you had from AOL Instant Messenger. He's tried reaching out again a few times, but I have ignored him. That's probably for the best. So I think it's safe for me to say that I was not especially fond of Braden, but you know, man, I'm old. Yeah, no, I already read that. I'm just repeating myself. Okay, it sounds like the music has stopped. Me neither. Let's see. The music has stopped, and I think I will too. Let's see. I went from Blaze the Paladin, Jet Kobayashi's all to Ersten Greatman. Um, I really like the Ersten Greatman name, and I really wish we could finish that Pathfinder game. I would even play Pathfinder to finish that Iron Gods campaign. Yeah, it seems no one was but me. Took me too many to learn. Well, you know, we all go through that. Me too. Um, I would love to revisit Ohm. I loved Ohm. Um, but okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. It's late, and I know it's late for other people too, uh, except for Darkstar, who is on the West Coast, and it's actually not super late for him. But anyhow, thanks again for the stream and telling your stories. It's nice to hear about you guys when you were all kids. Yeah. Oh God, we really were kids. Like I can't think of how young we were. Yes, let you go. PST. Have a good night. 3:21 a.m. here. Oh wow. Thanks for streaming. It's early. Yeah, it is early. Night. Every pleasure meeting you all. Okay. Thank you everyone. As usual, please come watch. Monday we should resume the Cursed Fen of the Old Kingdoms. Tuesday, War Drums of Mount Nimro, and then Thursday we will hopefully kick off Mega Man X4. All right, everybody. We will see you all a different time. Thank you as always. Looney, I love you. Thank you for being here and being the best moderator in the world. All right.